stop me. It's me. But once I overcame that fight, can't nothing stop me. I can't die. I'm immortal. Rejected, neglected, I feel disrespected. They told me go left, I didn't learn the right lessons. Been hard on my grizzle, my hustle got deadly. Y'all rap about shit I done murdered already. Ain't changing my image, focused on my vision. Hard-headed, don't listen, fake love, I ain't with it. This path I'm committed, slip up but ain't tripping. My mind always spinning, ain't talking about vision. Just run me, my digits go broke, I ain't limping. It ain't come to me, so I had to go get it. I came from a city with niggas, it's vicious. The love be fictitious, see hate from a distance. It made me a fighter, got pushed to my limits. I took a few L's and then got so discouraged. With God as my witness, from whence I was forged. No Golden Gate Bridge, but I came back a warrior. I came back immortal, invincible even. My faith is much higher than what you believe in. They wanted me gone on my soul, I ain't leaving. Spoke life into every verse you receiving. My music lives on when my bones turn to dust. There's power in words, so bitch you should hush. My mind overflowing in lyrical floods. Fuck building an art, you gon' need you a sub. I rose through the pavement, I stand on my morals. Been stabbed in the heart, now my scars are enormous. I took all your stones and created a fortress. Been fighting off demons that constantly torment my mind, and my thoughts are a little abnormal. Been crossing out squares that won't fit in my circle. Can't kill what I said, and this verse is eternal. With God on my side, I can't die, I'm immortal. Creation, destruction, the cosmos erupted. My mind kicked off track of the train I'm conducting. Came out of the dungeon, stepped into corruption. Don't know who to trust, how the fuck I'ma function. This deity trapped in this skin that I live in. They wanted a king since I fit the description. They tried to dethrone me, but I'm in position. I'll show you the wrath of a god from Olympus. You spoke on my name, bro, I thought we was different. Couldn't tie your own shoes, guess that's why you still tripping. That bitch wasn't loyal, guess karma's your mistress. It's hoes over bros, guess you made your decision. That rat in my family ain't talking about splinter. I hope that you feel every verse I deliver, cause hell done froze over, you think it was winter. If you thought for a second I wasn't gon' come get you, I think the Almighty made me in his image, dominion and power protected. My children call angels beside me, now I'm in command. Enlightenment all in the palm of my hand. This ain't what you pictured, I wasn't supposed to make it. I'm supposed to be 6 feet up under a pavement. They hate how you live, but show love when you die. Hope you feel the same way when I come back to life. I rose through the pavement, I stand on my morals. Been stabbed in the heart, now my scars are enormous. I took all your stones and created a fortress. Been fighting off demons that constantly torment my mind, and my thoughts are a little abnormal. Been crossing out squares that won't fit in my circle. Can't kill what I said, and this verse is eternal. With God on my side, I can't die, I'm immortal.
The officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first and world championship titles in a record 8 different weight division, guarantees his place in the Hall of Fame. He's recognized and known the world over as the people's champion.
My name is D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. Taking out your suckers head. Yeah, and you don't stop.
Yeah. We in the building today. It is September 17th, 2023. Yeah, y'all know what it is. A day you never been in before, and a day you never been in again. So, before I go any further, y'all already know what the situation is. Y'all see the hat, see the shades. My mama told me to represent and show out because she gave me a book from Good Man. It says if you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay good. Well, y'all know who I'm quoting. And my man got to spend a good time in Texas, and he got him a nice little set of felt hats and straw hats. I'm gonna have to go and make my way to the Sanders estate. See if I can bargain a few. With no further ado, let me bring my brother to the stage.
We are legends yet again. By the way, before there was ever a time he spent in Texas, that man made himself a proud, select New York Yankee. He once once upon a time, quick story. Once upon a time, He was the actual first person to actually go to Sports Superstar and actually do something that had not been done in Major League Baseball and in the NFL in the same year.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We know his
yeah.
resume as a player.
Oh
And
yeah.
we talk
Oh yeah.
about him as a coach.
Oh yeah.
We
Oh yeah.
we know he's won on every level as a player, and then he's won in every sport that he's
He's actually
participated.
not. He's actually not. But go ahead.
No, he's a
Go
winner.
ahead. He is one
If
for sure.
if you want to say that, championships, well, that's one thing if he didn't take home a World Series, but let's not act like he didn't get a pennant to get there.
Oh, this is true. This is true.
So the man's a winner.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Texas high school state championship as a coach.
Yes, he does.
We already know the accolades that went on before that.
Oh yes.
Then he went and took his boys and got over in HBCU and represented two-time conference champions.
Mm-hmm.
And
Unquestioned.
Connection after connection. And then we have guys, I'm noticing this pattern when it comes to Coach Prime.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that played similar positions and they end up becoming coaches are the ones that speaking out the most. Eddie Robinson Jr.
But they can.
Now you got this guy over at Colorado State, Jay,
Mm-hmm.
Neville, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you go look at their resume and be like, oh, okay, you was a DB too at one point in time.
At one point.
I understand
Yes.
exactly why. You have no offensive touchdowns in your career.
Not one.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
So
Not one.
now you look at the coaching resume. We already know as a player, you're not gonna contend with him.
No.
The facet of the discussion of being the dynamic player is not a discussion.
No.
So you got to find other ways. You can't talk about players being mistreated.
True.
That's not happening.
Nope.
Can't talk about players not doing the right things. All right. Can't talk about the right things. All right. So what else is left? The man's hat and shades is left on the table.
Come on. Is that a conversation?
Oh, yeah, it's a conversation, particularly when it comes from one contradicting himself. When this motherfucker got several interviews with his damn Colorado State Rams visor cap at every interview that he was in. The biggest thing is you had 50 points put up on you in week 1.
Yes.
That is a significant sign in college football. You ain't going to do that for the rest of the year.
This much is true.
However, the next game you got is not only against a great NFL, Major League Baseball, Floridian all-star greatness. You ain't worry about that part.
Of course not.
You're talking about his hat and his shades. And you just got a 50-piece put up on you. Yeah. So in 2 weeks, you've allowed 93 points, which means an average of 46.5 points a week, coach. I think we got other things we need to be concerned with.
This is true. So let's go backwards. So let's go backwards a little bit here. Just a little bit.
No, let's go.
You just said the hat and the shades became a conversation piece.
Because that's all you got.
Hang on. You also said that this visor-wearing piece of a coach spoke up about a hat and a pair of shades. And got how many points put up on him in 2 weeks?
93.
93. Okay. So I'm going to ask you this question. I know you already know the answer to this question because you're a very, very, very intelligent man. Is this really a topic of conversation?
Yeah, because you opened your mouth. And now you got to deal with the consequences.
Let's start again. Do you really, really have
Yeah.
a conversation piece?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. See, you don't see the capital P in petty. You see the capital P in petty just roll around me. Petty is purple and it's blooming behind me.
Yes.
This aura I'm illuminating is pettiness.
Yes.
Because I won't be petty.
Yes.
Today is the day of being. It's so much worth being petty. It ain't even worth talking about the NFL today.
This is true.
It's not. They got a doubleheader. They got a doubleheader NFL Monday night.
Right.
And it's still not going to be worth talking about.
I agree. On that, we agree. 100%. We agree. We agree.
So
100%.
You allow your players to come on out. And I hope all is well with Travis Hunter. I love everything about his game. Talk about a pure athlete.
Oh.
Talking about a pure athlete. Jesus.
Has to be said out loud with feeling.
Ooh. That man. If they decide to let that man play basketball, they're going to the Sweet 16.
Every year. Till he leaves. Every year till he leaves. Plain and simple.
You seeing these guys that Coach Prime put together, and he's put it out there that he has no interest in coaching in the NFL, and rightfully so, because he has the ins and outs and the workings of the league. And, you know, he still's got friends in and out and around the league, and the younger guys that's coming in, he's always communicating with them and giving them tidbits and stuff that, you know, what they do. He has no interest in going to the league. However, I have to say that is probably the most disheartening thing for me, because I love what he is doing with players.
Okay.
I cannot think of a coach that has a balance of discipline and love and respect and integrity with his players.
Yes. More than.
I can't think of.
No. There are very few that match it. No one supersedes. Listen, but I agree with you. But you're answering your own question. This.
I can't think of a mainstream coach.
There isn't one.
I can't think of a mainstream coach that has that level of balance. Well, I appreciate the love. Thank you. But I say this. Him not wanting to go to the pros, that's the only disheartening thing I have for that.
You're answering your reason why.
I know why, but this is my thing. I'm thinking about the players.
I am too.
My position is financially what we know about our players that make it to the league, and then a few years after the league, they're not financially stable.
True.
And you know, there's guys that didn't get to play for Coach Prime that we know should.
Yes.
And honestly, collegiate route may not be the route that they'll be able to get that opportunity. But if there was a pro route,
I understand all of what you're saying. And you know something? Two things instantly come to mind. We've watched both football and basketball players, particularly basketball players, come from high school to the NBA. Careers shortened by major injuries. Never had 1 second to save $1. Took a bonus, bought somebody a car, bought somebody a house. But nothing for them. Nothing for them. Want to take care of mom because, you know, I'm tired of seeing mom struggling. I'm 18 years old and I want to see my mom stop struggling. Things like that. Noble, and we appreciate them for it. But 10 seconds into a game, 10 minutes into a game, 10 games into a season, dead stop.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen these stories over and over again.
Right.
But you know what Coach Prime is? Coach Prime is the kind of person that can walk you through how to be that guy, even in college, so that by the time you get to the pros, you are a pro. And the one thing that many people are not, one guy I do remember, may he rest in peace, is John Wooden. John Wooden was the kind of coach, and I've heard this story told many times by many players. I've served these players and I've listened to them tell these stories. And one thing I know is this. People have told the story that John Wooden is the one reason why I knew not to go out there overdressed, got myself together, and put myself in a position to do everything I needed to do from the day when they called me and told me I was going to be drafted to the day when I signed my first contract in the NBA. And it's coaches like that. They're hard. They are hard to find today because a lot of these guys, they're making $15 million. And half their responsibility is to show you how racist they are and how football oriented they are, but there's nothing in between.
Right.
And you're left to your devices.
The beauty of Coach Prime, man, is just I get it. And the truth of the matter is, looking at how he operates, I wouldn't be surprised by year 6 he's done coaching altogether. Because I honestly believe that his goal and his mission is to show his sons how to be professionals.
Oh yeah, no question.
That's point blank period. But however, anybody else that's a coach and you happen to run across what I consider to be a player coach, not actually an active player, but a once ever player that was extremely great and astute, was head and shoulders above a lot of people. Thank you. Here's my sound professional and personal advice. Shut your ass up. Listen, I don't know what Jay was thinking. Did you forget there was 2 boys on that team with his last name? Oh, did you forget there was 2 boys on that team that was from his genetic pool? One picked your quarterback off.
And the other one took care of
6.
Right.
The only thing that stopped Shiloh from doing his daddy's dance was the fact that he says, I don't want to be the reason we lose this game.
Correct.
That's what he said. I don't want to be the reason why we lose this game. I don't want to get a penalty.
Correct.
Shiloh took care of business, pick 6, took it to the house. But he was wearing his daddy's shoes.
Sayonara.
He was wearing his daddy's shoes.
Sure was.
Now y'all did everything y'all could on the offense against the offense with Shiloh. You sacked him a few times. But however, if last night wasn't a testament that this man has nitrogen running through his veins, he sleeps on the bed of sheets of ice, sub-zero froze ice.
Nitroglycerin, my friend.
That man is unbothered, unwavered, unshakable.
Yep. Every word of it. Every word of it.
Poised to the T. Colorado State, those players, listen, I'm going to give Colorado State this much as far as the players go. You knew you was going to have more eyes on you than anything. You gave your best game. Kudos to you. However, next 7 games, y'all going to get y'all ass kicked.
I don't know about that, but I'll give you.
I'm going to say next 7 games will get their ass kicked.
But I will agree with you. I don't know about that, but I will agree with you that last night Colorado State did something last night. They did 2 things last night. First of all, they shocked the world by having an 11-point lead. First of all.
But did they really, though?
At one point, listen, if you've got an 11-point lead, you got one. You can talk about the 11-point lead.
All right, so they may get past Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
We know what that situation is. That,
of course.
That's so I thought they was gonna go back into division play. However,
yes.
So the next game they got is Middle Tennessee. They may have purchased them a win, which they need because they're on the course of going 0-3 and being an internet meme.
Yes.
And then you have Utah Tech. So you might balance out and be 2-2, if not 3, 1-3.
You'll be 3. You'll be 2-3 by the time you walk away from those games.
Well, no, it's only those 2 games. So
that's
2
it.
and 2.
Yes, you'll be 2-3.
No. They only play Washington and Colorado.
Okay, so they'll be 2-2.
Yeah.
Okay, so
maybe.
they'll be 2-2. I mean,
maybe that is still undetermined on what Middle Tennessee does, and it's still undetermined what Utah Tech does. I'm not familiar with Utah Tech.
Oh, well, listen, if you ain't, nobody is.
I'm just gonna be, but that's the thing. Them be the ones. Remember when Appalachian State?
I know.
Humbled Michigan.
Listen,
nobody knew who the hell they were.
I don't forget when what was the team that beat Minnesota early last season, and they were like, what the fuck? Everybody was like, what the fuck?
You know what? you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to go through this schedule now.
Go for it.
I want everybody to understand how much Colorado State deserve not to get any praise and not to ever open their mouth once again.
Go ahead.
Remaining games: Middle Tennessee.
Yes.
Utah Tech.
Yeah.
Utah State.
Okay.
Boise State. Now that may be
that's gonna be a matchup. Mm-hmm.
ULNV.
Nah, that's a beatdown.
Air Force.
That's also a beatdown.
Wyoming.
That's gonna be a game. Go ahead.
That's gonna be a game, but San Diego State.
Okay.
That should be a decent game.
It should be a decent game. Mm-hmm.
Nevada.
All right. If my hat,
Hawaii.
Okay. If my hat is on the way it's supposed to be, unlike yours, I smell 3, 4. I smell 4 wins out of that. 5 possibly.
I hope
and I'm sorry to say, I mean, it's tough because you have Hawaii on that schedule, and Hawaii is very much reeling. No, they're real. No, what I'm saying is they're reeling from what happened earlier last month with what happened in Maui, and they're still not stable. They're still not stable. So who knows what that's going to be like? I don't think Hawaii wins a game this year, to be quite frank. Yeah, I think that's 5 wins out of that. They'll beat Air Force. Air Force is crap. I'm sorry to say, Air Force this year is crap. This year that they're crap. Utah State's going to beat them. Utah Tech. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, but I think that's a win for them. Middle Tennessee State, that's a win for them. Boise State is a weird. They're weird. They're just weird. I say that's a win. I say that's a win, but that's like one of those icky, five
Yeah,
overtime games.
this year. Let's see.
No, that doesn't make me feel good at all.
So Boise is 1-1.
Right.
Well, no, I take that back. I lied.
No.
They're 1-2.
They're 1-2. Mm-hmm.
They're 1-2.
Right.
And like Colorado State, they got 50 pieces put up on them in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, but North Dakota, they put 42 on.
Right.
And UCF, well, you can't really count them out because it's
not even a game.
It's not a game.
It's not a game.
So, yeah, this is yeah,
just like that.
Yeah, Colorado
like
State never open your mouth ever again.
Mm-hmm.
I at this point, I'm gonna tell you like this: that coach going after Coach Prime the way he did, even coaches who do not like Coach Prime are going to try to make a staple point out of you,
right?
Because it's media attraction. You took it you made it personal,
right?
So once you make it personal, and then you lost.
We're not talking about. No, I'm not laughing. I wasn't. No, I was really coughing. I wasn't laughing. Lord help me. It's okay. This is mixed bag time. Okay, this is really mixed bag time because they should go down and they should go down in the heat. I'm not arguing that point. I wouldn't bother to argue that point. I think if we're being honest here, okay, if we're being totally honest here, I think the problem that Colorado State has is that they're on the map at the same time that a Deion Sanders happened to just show up and be head coach.
Well,
with two of his sons, playing. Hang on. With two of his sons playing. Now, here's the thing. What do you want him to do? You to say nothing? I mean, you damned if you do. You damned if you do.
Point, yes.
You damned if you do.
You keep it strictly football.
You damned if you do. You damned if you do.
You keep it strictly football because what you did was you rid your ugly head of jealousy.
True.
Because you were a defensive back. You played college ball. You were not Deion Sanders.
No.
You were not Ed Reed.
No.
You were not Brian Dawkins.
No.
You were not Eric Allen.
No.
We can go down the list. You're not Ronnie Lott. You're not Steve Atwater.
No.
You're not Rod Woodson. You're not Charles Woodson.
Not close.
You're not Roy Jones. We can go down the list. Earl Thomas.
Yes.
Richard Sherman.
Yes.
Like, where do I stop? Tell me when you want me to stop, because I keep going down the list.
Keep going. Just help yourself.
Wait. You're not Jason Sehorn.
I'm gonna sip some more.
You're not Revis Islands.
Just keep going. I'm gonna keep sipping. Just keep going. You're not
Sean Taylor. You're not Sean Taylor.
You're not Sauce Gardner.
You're not Ron Woodson. You're not Ronnie Woodson.
No. I mean, look, the answer is no. I'm not gonna tell you no. The answer is no, because quite frankly, all these things are true. But where are you supposed to go? I mean, the worst thing about ESPN, in my opinion, they set you up for one of two things, okay? And you set yourself up as well. Because once you get in their bright lights, then you wanna have to ask yourself. And the best thing you can do is just say, you know what, Saturday take care of itself.
As an athlete of any kind,
yes,
Yes, you know if you're prepared.
Well, this is true.
When you open your mouth,
Mm-hmm. There's a great big foot going down it.
Several days, you gave them additional fuel previously. You already coming off a 50 piece. You got 50 put up on you. Guys left their jersey in your stadium. You don't say nothing. You go home. Hey, coach, you playing Coach Prime and his kids next week. What'd you say? Well, it's just gonna be a good game. We're gonna prepare, we're gonna study, we're gonna give it our all, and I know they're gonna bring their all end of the day. You go strictly PC. So if you happen to lose to Middle Tennessee, if you lose to Utah Tech, you're already 0-2.
Yeah.
Guess what else you're going to lose?
Yeah, well, that'd be the end of it.
That's it.
That pretty much would be the end of it.
You've shortened your contract by opening your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. Go home. Now you got Shador sitting up there wearing his daddy shades, putting up his watch, letting you know, like, oh, all this didn't come because my daddy is my daddy. That could have happened. He's like, no, I'm letting you know it came because I'm Shador Sanders. Now you got to live with that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have, okay. 5 roadies. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 home. Oh, so it's an even split. Okay. The rest of the season is an even split. Okay. Yeah, this is 5 wins. Just 5 wins. It's gonna be 3 of the cheekiest wins you ever see, but yeah, it's gonna be 5 wins.
No, he put a target on them. He don't even realize it.
Listen. I'm gonna say it one more time. You're not gonna accept that because yes, they won, but you had an 11-point lead.
That's cute.
These teams you playing the remainder of the schedule are not this team.
LeBron James got one of his 4 rings because the team was 3 up on him.
I agree. Let me say that one more time, though. The rest of these teams that are on this schedule for the remainder of this season are not that team.
Mm-mm.
They are not Colorado. They are not, Colorado. They are not Colorado. Indisputable. Indisputable. They're not Colorado. They're not even in the arena to Colorado.
And guess what? Colorado State is not Colorado State.
All right. And
no, I'm saying
what?
No, I'm saying that week. So yes. what they're liable to do is we're liable to see Tennessee State or Middle Tennessee, beat them by 3 points.
I don't see it.
It's possible. Because you want to know why?
Why?
You put the target on your back. This is
that
how
target. That target is
no, it's not small. That is not a minute thing.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Go ahead.
The target you put on your back was you open your mouth on an all-time great. I want you to understand this.
Yes.
People are looking for access.
Yes.
If I'm a Middle Tennessee,
yes,
and I'm a talented kid,
yes,
and I beat somebody that opened their mouth on you,
yes,
and I'm looking to transfer, guess what? The first game on the footage of my highlight reel, I'm gonna send you.
Man, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say, and I don't want you to forget I said this, and I hope this is recording loud. If I haven't said it already, all right. My shout out, I sent a shout out to T-Max Network. I sent a shout out to my brother Al. I love you. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. I want you to listen to me very carefully, brother. Know that I love you after I've said this, okay? That ain't gonna make a hill's bit of difference. Because when you have a pile of shit and you have a bucket of shit, all you have is filth. Filth can only produce more filth. There will be no good anything that comes from it. So if you're Colorado State, technically you're playing with house money for a reason. Because not one of these teams, not one of them, not one, is anywhere in the ballpark. So you're right. You don't say nothing. I agree with you. Let me say it one more time. I agree with you.
Colorado's not in the ballpark.
But Middle Tennessee State, not in the ballpark. Utah Tech,
in the ballpark.
Utah Tech, not in the ballpark.
Colorado State's not in the ballpark.
Utah State might be the worst thing you have to deal with on your entire schedule, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games after that, and not a one of those guys, not one of those teams, not one. Okay, not one.
Did you see their schedule from last year?
I saw that. Yes.
Now we can go.
This is hilarious.
Those same guys were on that team last year.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, they lost to Wyoming. They lost to Air Force.
Yes.
All right. You barely beat New Mexico. Oh, you lost to Boise.
Yes.
So, like I said, the target on your head.
Yes.
These are the same teams you've played last. Sacramento put 41 on you last year.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Who's that first team they played last year?
Washington.
No. Who's that first team they played last year? Look at the schedule
the
carefully.
First team they played, Middle Tennessee. 34.
Was Michigan. First game they played was Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan and then Middle Tennessee. Yeah.
Can you name me a team on this schedule right here that's Michigan? On this schedule right here, that's Michigan. Look at that schedule carefully. Come now. Michigan. Think about Michigan. Think about Michigan real carefully. Who on this schedule is Michigan?
Wait. You're trying to compare. You're trying to compare Michigan to the rest of the team, but you got to realize this: you lost to everybody else who wasn't Michigan.
Right.
So guess what? Shut your fucking mouth. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
It's still gonna be shut the fuck up. I'm not.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Just shut the fuck up. You lost to everybody who was that. Listen.
Mm-hmm.
The previous year, Nevada put 52 on you. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Stop talking. Go home.
No, actually, they won that game. No, against Nevada, they won that game.
The previous year before that, Nevada put 52 on them.
Hold on. Well, no, that's not the same team. 2021, that's not the same team. No, that isn't. That's not the same team.
Well, they had a bunch. But you only beat them by 3. You only beat them by 3 the following season.
Okay.
So guess what? You ain't that much different.
And neither
Washington still bested you. And you going back for Middle Tennessee? We don't know what they added to the arsenal.
The best team on that schedule that year, 2021, was Iowa. Easily was Iowa.
Regardless of who the best team was.
And you lost to them. Hang on. But you lost to Iowa by 10 points. So something is working because if the worst you can do, let's put it this way.
You say they lost to Iowa by how much?
By 10 points.
And they lost to Wyoming by 14.
Hang on. You're in a lot of these games. If you look at this schedule carefully enough,
you're not.
Yes, they are.
Not 2 scores. No, you're not.
Yes, they are.
You lost to the Air Force by 2 scores.
Yes, there's 1 game, 2 games, 1 game, 2 games, 1 game, 2 games. There's 2 games in this. There's 2 games in this. There's 2 games in this, and that's Nevada, and that is San Diego State. So that's your first game of the season, your last game of the season, where you lost by more than 2 touchdowns. Okay, in each situation. Every one of these other games, they're in. That conference is crap, first of all. Let's face it. That conference is crap.
You can't be crap if you're losing to Boise and Utah State.
but that conference is crap, and it's been crap for years.
Oh,
Which is one
Utah
big
did
reason why.
before.
Which is one huge reason why Pac-12 is trying to grab Colorado, because they know that the rest of that doggone conference is crap. It's crap. It's crap. If you look at this,
Guess what? Hey,
schedule carefully, this is crap.
And guess what? To your
What?
argument,
Yes.
you couldn't best the crap that you're in. Shut up.
This is what I'm saying to you. You already solved your own conundrum.
No, I'm telling you, it's not. Your argument is reversed. Your argument is reversed.
Be you, and your
you
argument is made.
You cannot say anything, because the previous year, the teams that you are playing again, you lost to.
Yes, I agree. That's
you
why
can't
I said.
So you can't say anything.
But
you
that's
cannot.
what I'm saying.
You cannot talk.
A pile of shit next to a bucket of shit only makes it stink.
No, it don't, because the rest of those teams make the bowl games.
Which is what none of these teams make.
You're talking about the major bowl games. The rest of them are bowl games.
Even the minor bowl games. You're not really doing nothing. Come on. You're not doing nothing here. Look at these look at these games. Look at these games carefully. Look at the schedule. Go back to last season's schedule for a second. I'm looking at 2022. Look at last season's schedule for a second. All right? We're going to bypass Michigan for a second, because that was the only ranked team they played the entire year.
And got their asses whooped.
And got their asses whooped. Rightfully. And I agree with you 100%. Look at these very carefully. And now I want you to tell me. You tell me, okay? Can you pick the game out of this situation here? Take away their 3 wins. Can you point out to me where you see in this game, where you see 2 teams that are worthy, okay, even worthy of even being talked about in Colorado State? Why are you trying to make an argument for Colorado State?
I'm not.
Oh, no, I'm actually not. I'm actually making an argument for Colorado, not for Colorado State.
No, you can't make an argument for Colorado. That I'm telling you.
I can.
They did everything they could, because they were put into a predicament.
This is they're going to be to you. You're making my argument. No, you're not realizing. You're making my argument. How you making my argument is by saying to you that point blank, none of this shit is going to be what. First of all, let's break it down for a second. Can you show me on this schedule this season where you got a game here the rest of this year, okay, where you have the similar hype? Even one.
Hold on.
Even
if it was Jackson State to roll up in there with Coach Prime, it's not going to be the same.
Not the question. Let me say it again. Can you show me a team here to which Colorado State is going to match up with? Can you show me a team there
that has a Hall of Fame coach who has multiple Super Bowls?
You're making my point.
No, I'm not. So I'm telling you, what you're saying is that their argument that you're saying that is similar to mine is not. Your verbiage it's truly different.
Because you're thinking about it in terms of trying to get Colorado State to fit into a box that they don't fit in. Colorado, not one of these teams, not for the rest of the season, will beat a Colorado on their schedule. Okay? Not one. Absolutely you said it, not. I said it. Then we agree on that. What I'm saying
so
to
the
you
only
is,
thing that was to do was you knew that from jump. You knew.
So where's the law?
You knew as a coach of Colorado State, the top 50 players in America, none of them say, I want to go to Colorado State.
That's the point. You just made my point.
No, but I'm saying completely different from you. It doesn't align when you say, oh, but look, none of these teams are Colorado. You're absolutely right.
Because none of them are.
We know that. That's obvious.
Okay. It's kind of like you have to kind of think of it a little bit different than what you're thinking, because you're thinking of it the way that an athlete would. All right. If I'm thinking about it, hang on. If I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about it the way a program would, because a program would be thinking that this is win-lose, this is lose-lose, win-lose, and win-win at the same time. Because what it is first of all, I'm getting the attraction of hype that I can do anything with. I can ignore it, it'll still be hype. I can play into it, it'll still be hype. I can shut the fuck up, okay, for 2 weeks until they steam out of here and go wherever the hell they're gonna go. It'll still be hype. Why? Because all the hype is not my hype; it's their hype. So I really don't. I can say whatever I want to. I can think whatever I want to, because at the end of the day, the hype is not going to stay with me.
No,
it's
they
going
ain't
to
safe.
leave and go with Colorado,
They
okay, and
ain't
blow
safe.
out of here.
They ain't safe. They're liable to lose against Middle Tennessee.
Aye. Of course they are. Of course
I'm
they
just
are.
looking. I just looked at the previous two
Every
games.
single team is liable to beat Colorado
No.
State the remainder of the year.
No. Not every team. See, this ain't no situation where it's a happenstance that come in there.
True.
Travis Hunter, clearly one of the best, if not the best, collegiate player in America this year by far.
Yep.
Leaves the game, and all we got so far is he can't play for the next few weeks.
Yes.
Colorado wins the game without the guy.
Right.
There isn't many teams or program that's going to do that.
Of course. So,
when we sit here and say, who's the guy over there at Colorado State, there is no guy.
No, there isn't.
Not the coach, not the players, not the receivers, not the water boy, not the towel girl, not the athletic director,
not nobody.
And if you want to look at it from a program stance, well, guess what? Motherfucker, you 0-2. And you opened your mouth on this program and you cost us recruits. Because I sit here and I watch this post-game interview.
Yeah.
I watched this post-game interview of Coach Prime, and he sits here and he says, oh, don't get it twisted, baby. We always recruiting. Oh, it was some dogs in the house tonight, and they needed to see this. If I'm Colorado State AD, I'm calling you first thing in the morning, and I'm saying, look here, you little SOB. I ought to come over there and slap the shit out of your wife and your kids. You know what you just cost us? You cost us a future. You better win. You better win these next two games. If you ain't 500 by the week 4, oh, guess what you gonna be? You're gonna be 500,000 short on your check. You're gonna be up out of here. I'm gonna write a review so bad on you, no other school or league will want to do. You'll be coaching middle schools. Do you understand me? Goodbye. Because you want to know what happened? Make no mistake. At one point in time, Colorado State was worthy. And they had some alumni. And they put out some quality guys. But they didn't put out what that guy is or those other guys are. It's sad to say that Deion has more business relationships, personal relationships than Colorado State and its whole entire alumni together has.
This is the point that I'm making, and you're not even thinking that is the point that I was making. See, you're saying exactly.
You verbally said that
because you're trying to. Because what you're doing is you're trying to put two different kinds of boxes to the same box, but you don't realize that what you're actually doing is actually putting all the pieces in the box that were already in the box.
No, they wasn't. Colorado State was never in the box.
Hear me out. All these things were already in the box. Here's why. Because if you think about it, now you use some critical thinking for a second, okay? Aside from me, use some critical thinking for a second. If you know you're a college bound player, okay, and a possible recruit, and being such, you're already thinking about where should I go. You hear the name Deion Sanders, okay? You hear the name Deion Sanders. Is coaching your future school or coaching a potential future school. Is that a draw on its own? Yes or no?
It helped.
Okay. If that's not at Colorado State, is that a draw to go to Colorado State?
What do you mean? Is that no? I'm not going to Colorado.
If it's not a draw, if Deion Sanders is not at Colorado State, but is at Colorado, where are you going? Where are you going? No, simple question.
No.
I'm fine.
No.
Where are you going?
No,
Dan. Where are you going?
Georgia don't have Deion. FSU don't have Deion.
Not the point. 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 You just said yourself, all these things that he did, all these things that other coach did over Colorado State, okay, all set this up for making recruiting pretty much. Deion can just pretty much, just be on the phone, just be like, look, it's just Deion. You don't even have to say nothing. It's just Deion.
Not only that, they can do that to any school.
Pretty much. But guess what? Because you know Deion's on the other end of that phone. Where are you going? Come on, this is you now. Where are you going?
Where
are you going?
No, that's not how that works.
Where are you going?
That's not how that works.
No. This is easy, simple deduction.
No, it's not.
Okay, yes, it is.
You're looking for an answer that's going to back your point, and your point is
it's
muted.
not.
And I'm telling
it's backing your point, and you don't even understand it.
No.
Because you seeing it, like I said, you're still seeing it like a student going to a school. You need to think about this as a program.
And I'm thinking about it as a program. And guess what?
Guess what? As a program, it is as simple
why
as
is
this.
Jim Harbaugh still at? Why is Harbaugh still at Michigan?
Because Michigan needs a draw. Okay.
No.
Without
winning. Michigan's winning. Michigan's winning.
Without too much work. Too much work. Think about this for a second. They're winning and they're still drawing, aren't they? Aren't they still recruiting? Tell you something. Aren't they still recruiting?
Financially, football helps every program in America more than any other sport.
Of course.
So guess what? If your ass ain't winning, you ain't got no funds.
Where was Colorado before? Where was Colorado? Forget about Colorado State. Where was Colorado before Deion? Where were they?
1-11.
And what about the year before that?
They were not winning. They were not winning.
Okay, so you're still winning. So you're still recruiting, but you're not winning.
You're not getting recruits.
Hang on, and there's your problem. No, there's your problem.
Wait, hold on. Let me help you out.
I don't need help on this one.
Yes, you do.
No,
because
I don't.
if the top recruit went to Colorado, they still would have won.
Okay, one more time with feeling. If I'm a recruit,
if you're a top 50 recruit,
if
Deion is not at the school, there's a school in 111. Are you going to go to a 111 school and you're number one recruit?
Not as a 1-11, but if I'm sitting there,
so you're not going there by far. But like I said, you said if Deion's on the phone,
yes,
it makes it easier. Yes, that does. But guess what? Georgia don't have Deion. Florida State don't have Deion. Florida don't have Deion. Dabo Sweeney ain't Deion.
All those things are true.
Alabama ain't Deion.
But guess what Deion has before he even walks in the door at Colorado? He's got Jackson State, which he can walk around and say, you know what? Look what I did over at Jackson State. So clearly, I can make this thing work. So obviously, I'm going to what has been a loser before that man ever signed his contract. So
that's not why he went
now
there.
Suddenly, I'm now going to pick myself up and I'm going to go to a school I wasn't planning on. Okay, but here's something I realize now. I've got Deion Sanders coaching said team. All right, and here comes an opportunity because on a loser, okay, he can transform a loser into a winner in a blink. He's already done it. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it on TV. Guess what? He sends me a recruiting video. Guess what he sends me? Him making that happen. So before I blink and think to myself, yeah, maybe I should go consider somebody else. There ain't somebody else to consider.
I don't know how that ties into motherfuckers opening their mouth at a sorry school. I don't understand.
Because a sorry school is going to stay a sorry school.
So therefore, you had no business opening your mouth. because you had nothing to talk about. You don't have
But I said that already.
you don't have any regulation issues. You don't have
Yes.
any player violations. You
I
don't
closed
have
that
any,
already.
you don't have any doping issues. You don't have any coaching violations. You don't have no NCAA regulations. You
None.
have nothing. So all you got to talk about is the hat and shades. One, that's your fault that you and your recruiting team is ass. That's clearly what that is. Because even if you have a losing program like anybody else, you could turn it around. You're not that guy. One, your problem is you're completely jealous because you were once a DB in college. You were not that guy. That's not his problem. That's your fucking problem. So you want that problem, and you took it to your team, and your team got embarrassed, and they put everything on the life to try to save your ass. You got 93 points put up on you in a 2-week period when you got schools that won't see 93 points put up on them in 5 weeks. Dude, we ain't talking about you. And you talk about from a program standpoint, program is like our booster club and our alumni is what brings us the money, and they're only going to support winning. You ain't winning. We don't want you here after the end of week 4 if your ass ain't winning.
No kidding. Which is exactly the reason why I said it before and I'll say it again. When all is said and done, you have to remember one thing. Colorado did not have Deion Sanders last season. Did not have. No one did. Okay. So your reason for you to want to come to Colorado and tell Colorado State, hell no. It's because Deion Sanders is here.
No.
And he's not only had, and he's winning. And he was doing so at his last place. And he was doing so at his last place.
Listen, it is beautiful. It is beautiful that Deion is everything that he is.
Yes.
But it's all about winning. Yes. It's all about winning.
Agreed.
It's all about winning. Deion has said himself, he told y'all. I don't understand how people bypass these interviews. He says, me being a coach is absolutely nothing. I can lose my job in the drop of a hat. Yes. My job is to make sure I got the W column filled up.
Correct.
So all that other stuff, he said, I don't care if they the number 1, number 5. He said, yeah, I'm going to do what I need to do to recruit. But at the end of the day, I need to put them in position to where we win. Not only do we win, but I need to make sure that these guys are great young men. I need to understand that these guys have some type of financial education. I need to understand that these guys have some type of spiritual guide. I need to understand that these guys have, he's checking balances. This is why I said, far as a balanced coach, there's nobody out there on the mainstream panel that's like him.
Not even close. Which goes back to your original point of why he should be in college and why he should stay in college.
I say he's done in a few years. Once.
I gotta disagree.
I think
I think what he'll do is he'll take a leave for a little bit, kind of see it all, but be like, you know what? Nah, I ain't done, because you know what? I had way too much fun, not just coaching my sons, but coaching these guys. And I think this matters a lot more than you realize, and that's going to keep him in play.
Like I say, it will traditionally, right? When a guy comes in, he builds a program, and the funnel after your initial guys come in, it's typically 2 years after that.
Right.
So 2 years after Shedeur is gone, he's going to be on his end of his original core guys.
That's correct.
So at that point, it's like, I got a big ass house in Texas. I could go back there. I can go rub elbows with Jerry before he catch up out of here.
Pretty much.
Maybe get some land, a piece of ownership of a team I really don't care to have. Just throw it under my name.
Pretty much.
Anyway, and I leave it to my boy Deion Sanders Jr.
Yes.
He's got options. So at the end of the day, if you are a coach, you put a target on your back by opening your mouth, knowing your team isn't prepared. As an athlete, as a coach, you know that week if you're prepared. There's only been so many times where things didn't go really good for people in practice that week, and somehow they won. And I can assure you, they was in the locker room. Everybody was quiet as hell.
Oh yes.
They were
Oh
so
yes.
quiet. They were so quiet. People was waiting on the phone to ring for the district to say, "Hey,
Yeah.
all right, what you guys doing over there? We're gonna take away this this win. We don't know
Oh
what happened."
yes. Oh yes.
So it's only, like I say, only a handful of times. But for the most part, when you are truly exceptional and not only that, prepared. There's teams that had exceptional talent, but they can also tell you we were not prepared.
This is true.
So when you're Colorado State, you got some talent over there. You don't have no NCAA league winning talent. Like, you got some guys that you could put in other places that would benefit them better than being up under you and your big ass mouth opening to catch ass 2 weeks in a row.
Oh yeah.
I blame the loyal fool that stayed with you. Because after if I'm a player and I've been there 2 years, hey coach, I'm going to Jackson State next year. Matter of fact, I'm going next semester. So why are you going to Jackson, son? Don't worry about it. I got to retrace some stuff. I'm not staying here with you.
Pretty much. Now,
and that's going forward to a bunch of coaches that just don't understand. You're not, if your primary thing is you're making statements about a coach as a player, as a parent, as an advisor, as a consultant, as a organization, as a
the wrong program, thing to do. The wrong thing to do.
I'm looking at you like, oh, you have nothing for us.
Nope.
Because you're trying to get into a word battle with a guy you ain't beat in anything ever.
This is true. Okay. I've been trying to jump in because I wanted to ask you a question. Now, when all is said and done, I'm looking at the rankings. Now, I'm going to ignore the AFCA coaches poll because I think the coaches poll is bullshit, personally. And I'm going to jump on this top 25, on this AP 25. Now, last we spoke, you said to me that USC was not a top 5 team.
Nope.
Okay. Not the question. Okay. Not the question. Now, they didn't play this past week. So you got nothing to, nothing to compare it to.
No, but they did play 3 home games.
This is true. This is true. Here's my thing. Here's the question I do have for you. There are 3 new teams who got within the top 30. And of the top 25, there is a brand new team, one that was not ranked. Okay. And now in the top 25. My question to you is this. Do you think it is worse that Alabama fell, that Tennessee fell, or that Florida jumped in?
I don't think it's worse anything. Alabama's right where they need to be. Tennessee is right where they need to be, and Florida is right where they need to be. The question should be about the 2 North Carolina schools.
I'm not concerned about the North Carolina teams yet for a reason.
No,
I'm going to come to them. I'm going to come to them.
I'm just saying Alabama and everybody else is right where they need to be.
I agree, but I disagree. Because I think there's one team that should not be that Alabama should have fallen out, and this team should be in the top 15. That team is Miami,
No,
who I still think is better than Alabama.
they very well may be, but let's look at the schedule.
I ain't even looking at record wise. I agree. The schedule is what makes me look at them,
Right,
which is why I say,
Miami, Ohio,
yeah,
Texas A&M, and
I'm not
then
concerned about that.
in Boston.
Then Boston,
That I mean, when you start getting to the Georgia Techs,
yes,
and they got UNC, they got
Yes.
Clemson,
yes,
they got North Carolina State, and
Yes.
they got the Seminoles. Now,
yes.
now we're having a discussion, but Miami is no. Miami is right where they need to be.
I disagree with that. I really do.
But that it's based right now. AP poll is based off strength of schedule more than anything.
Oh, I know that. I know that. This is the reason why I'm saying that, because if it is on based on strength of schedule, it should also be by strength of team. And let's be honest. Right now,
That's
you
where
playing
that comes from, though.
Right now, I hear you. Right now, if you putting together these two teams back to back, okay? Who are you taking? You taking Alabama or you taking Miami? Right now.
I'm gonna go Miami.
Okay.
Alabama has a horrible quarterback situation.
Horrible.
So why? I mean, in their team isn't that fast. Their defense isn't that pristine.
Nope.
Miami could fly on both sides of the ball. So
Okay.
why would I take Alabama?
This is my point. Strength of schedule is one thing, and I'm not disagreeing with you. But let's be honest. If you put Miami up against Alabama's remaining schedule, and you put Alabama up against Miami's remaining schedule, who's coming out of there with more wins?
I mean,
Miami.
That's hypothetical.
Miami.
I mean,
no, that's Miami, and it's Miami because let's face it. If you look at the remainder of Alabama's schedule, Alabama doesn't even have a chance to beat these teams as Alabama in their current state.
I got that, but I'm saying right now, they're right where they need to be right now.
No,
now they are. Because if you're saying that it's based on it should be based on strength of team, and I'm like, that's what strength of schedule is. It's the strength of the team.
I agree.
So Alabama, so far, their opponents have been the more formidable one. Even South Florida has been better than the teams that Miami has faced.
Yeah.
So outside the exception of Middle Tennessee, then you had to face the dogs in Texas.
Yes.
And like Mississippi State and
yes.
Like, of course. I mean, outside of the exception of Tennessee, LSU, that's about it. Maybe Auburn at that point in time, depending on what they're at. But, I mean, it's still not conclusive that they should be higher up. Like I say, not right now. When you get down to it later in the year and based on what they do, I want to see what they do because at this point, they played Texas. That's a ranked team. They lost. They got Mississippi State that's ranked. And they got Tennessee that's ranked in LSU. So that's only 3 ranked teams on their entire schedule.
Right.
But if you go to Miami, they took out A&M.
Yes.
They're going to play Temple.
Yes.
Temple has had teams that were dynamic.
Yes,
and then they've had more teams they were not.
Yes.
They had more teams that were not dynamic than teams that they were.
Yes.
Then they're gonna play Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech not making no noise.
Not so much, but yes.
Now you got UNC.
Yes.
That's a ranked team.
That's a very ranked team, and it's a good team too.
Now you got Clemson. Yes. Clemson is looking to be Clemson.
Climb. They're looking to climb. They need to get back in it. Yep. Go ahead.
Right. Then you got Virginia. Virginia is looking to get back to their status.
Yep.
NC State is shaky. But then you got Florida Seminoles.
Yes.
And then you got Louisville.
That's gonna be a damn good game.
you got Louisville, that's 50-50. So the schedules is pretty much,
and then BC to close out your season.
right.
Now,
The schedules
if
is
you
pretty.
yeah, but if you match this, if you match up this schedule you staring at right now with the Alabama team that is currently being fielded, how many wins Alabama coming out of this schedule with? Look at it carefully.
But I'm saying how they do it is not based on what they're going to beat.
I hear you. I'm asking you a different question for a different reason.
I mean, shit.
Yeah.
They should beat Mississippi, but they probably won't. I predicted that there'll be a three team lose this year. They'll beat Mississippi State.
Yeah.
They'll beat A&M because Jimbo Fisher is a fool. They'll beat Arkansas.
Yes.
It's going to be a battle between them and Tennessee, particularly given the point where Tennessee is at, and that's going to be a good portion of the season going until November, where you really have to make a run. Then they'll meet LSU. Given where LSU at, they're only one behind LSU. And if LSU maintains their steam, LSU could be a top 5 team by then.
Right.
And then you got Kentucky. Well, you got to be real funny watching with Kentucky, particularly within the last 5-year window, because we're talking about teams like North Carolina, like Duke, like Kentucky, that were truly basketball schools.
Right. Now starting to find their football footing. I hear
right.
You.
So they were like, listen, this football money is where it's at. We'd have been championship winning basketball, and we still ain't matched the teams that was like at the midway point when it comes to this money. So they started pouring in and getting better uniforms for everybody on campus. This is crazy. So, I mean, Chattanooga and Auburn, I mean, shit. They're right where they need to be right now. Everybody's right where they need to be. The only people that are out of pocket is Duke and North Carolina.
Yes. That I agree with.
Because they were both 21 and 20.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Their schedule concludes Syracuse. They got Virginia, Georgia Tech, Campbell, Clemson, and NC State. So there's where did they play?
They're more prospects for losses than wins, but I agree with you. For each of them, there are more prospects for losses than wins, but I agree with you. Yes.
So
I agree with you completely.
And then Duke, I don't even understand. Connecticut, really?
Duke's schedule makes me laugh. Connecticut is a joke.
Connecticut
has been for 7 years in terms of football.
When you think of Connecticut, nothing says bad football.
No, not at all. They got Notre Dame. They got NC State.
They're gonna get washed by Notre Dame.
Florida. They're gonna go on a 3-game losing streak following that Connecticut game. I'll tell you that right now.
They're liable to lose to Wake Forest. You know honestly, what? So listen, let's do this. Let's say this right here, right now. By November 11, where Duke and USC meet, neither one of these bastards are ranked.
Possible. I agree. That's possible. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. They have a win. They have a win. They have a win with UConn. That's going to happen. They even have a win with Louisville. And it's going to be a squeaker, but it's going to be a win. But right now, I could very well see them going on 2 3-game losing streaks to end the season. And basically losing 6 of 8.
Losses, they will not be ranked.
I agree. I agree with you.
Right then and there.
I agree with you.
Rather it's collectively or
every
other week.
No, it'll be one where they'll hang on.
So November 11th.
I'll tell you like this. Come 9/24, which is the day after the UConn game, they'll be 4-0. They'll be 4-0.
The disrespect.
The streak ends. The streak ends after that.
The
But
disrespect,
yes,
the disrespect is to Washington.
that I agree with.
Right now, Washington has put up 145 points on all three of their opponents.
All 3. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not even.
Yeah. Now
Now they go and play a ranked Oregon State next week.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play UCLA, which is ranked, and then
you talking about Washington?
Yeah,
Washington gets California next week. They get Cal. They get Cal Bears next week. They get Arizona. I'm staring at it right now. Boy, they just finished off
Washington. No.
Yeah. Schedule you got right now? I don't know what you got going on here. Come back up. That's you too far down.
This is the team that put that 50-point.
I'm staring at it right now. They beat up Boise State. They beat the crap out of Boise State. They beat Tulsa and they beat Michigan State. Washington, the Washington Huskies.
State.
Wait,
Washington
Huskies?
Washington State.
I'm not talking about state. I'm talking about
Washington State. Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Washington. You talking about Washington State?
No, Washington's not ranked. I'm not talking about them.
Washington is ranked,
State.
Bro. Stay with us here. Number 8, Washington.
I'm talking about Washington State.
Okay, let's make sure
Washington ain't doing what Washington State is doing, and they don't have the schedule that they got.
Washington State's 21. What we talking about here, bro?
I'm talking about the disrespect. 145 points in 3 games. They're going to play Oregon State, who is ranked. They're going to play UCLA after that, who is ranked. And then they're going to skip a week.
Hang on.
No.
The best team they played thus far is Wisconsin.
Okay.
Wisconsin.
So, wait. What you're failing to realize is
they put 50 on Colorado State. That same Colorado State you got plenty of love for. Okay, and they put up 64 on Northern Colorado.
That's what I'm saying. In 3 games, they put up 145 points. Oregon State, who is ranked, they got back-to-back ranked games.
Yes, I hear you. But who they beat?
No, we're talking about the schedule going forth. You talking
That's
about
what
Washington?
I'm talking about.
Washington,
go back,
bro.
Go for it.
Washington played Tulsa. Get up.
Washington's schedule is just wait. Can you stay with us here? We just jumping all over the place, bro. We look back.
I'm talking about Washington State. I'm telling you that's a slap in the face to Washington State.
Okay. Washington State, who has Oregon State next week, yes. Who has UCLA to follow, has Arizona to follow, has Oregon to follow, has Arizona State to follow, has Arizona State to follow, has Stanford to follow, has Cal, has Colorado, and then finally ends the season in Washington. Okay. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 ranked teams and a possible 5th. You have 4, 5. No, you have 4, 5. Yeah, you do have 5. You have 5 ranked teams on your schedule.
Yeah. And most of them you play 3 of them in a month.
Here's the thing. Of those 5 ranked teams you got, let's be honest. You're not putting 50 on.
You don't need to put 50 on them. You just need to beat them.
You're not putting 40 on none of them.
You don't need to at that point. You just need to beat them.
Hang on. And you're not putting 30 on most of them. You might get 25 out of most of them.
Did Texas hang up 40 on Alabama?
Yes.
No, they didn't.
Texas?
Nope.
Hang on.
Texas did not put up 40 on Alabama.
Hold on.
They put up 34.
Hold on. You beat Alabama by 10.
Right.
You beat Rice by 27. And you beat Wyoming by 21.
Right.
Okay. If you are, hang on. If you are Washington State, let's go back to this again. You put 50 on Colorado State. You put 31 on Wisconsin, and you put 64 on Northern Colorado. You're not putting 50 on these teams.
You don't need to. At that point, you don't need to.
No, you don't.
But
You're
the point is, those that needed to be ran into the ground, you ran them into the ground.
Yes, you did. You did.
You made your significant statement.
That. Yes.
So unlike other teams that didn't run insignificant teams that went back and forth with them, they did like you find yourself in the issue. Reason why Colorado is 19 is because they went back and forth with an insignificant team.
True.
Had they beat their asses like we knew they would have done, because we already knew they was playing for their dear life. The Rock was in the building. Lil Wayne's in the building. Everybody with a name is in the building. And this is the only time for the rest of this duration of this year, I'm going to ever get this close to this many celebrities on one game, one day.
Yes.
Because the only other chance for me to have it like this, I'm in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
but Washington's not putting up on anything. Nope.
Washington State needs not to be 21.
No.
That's just like, honestly, it'd been perfectly fine if Colorado remained 18. That's just the fact of the matter.
I was a little surprised by that. This is what I was trying to get to. Had they remained
18, I'd be like, that's absolutely right.
Right. This is what I was trying to allude to, is the fact that Colorado dropped to 19. I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. I agree with you completely. My thing is, and I understand why they dropped them, and you specified it, and I agree with you. But I'm surprised by the teams who, after some of their performances over this past weekend, were allowed to stay in that top 15. One of them is Alabama. One of them is Alabama. One of them is LSU. One of them is I can't really say that about Ole Miss, but
LSU got.
I was a little surprised by Duke staying in the top. It's going above them. Okay, I agree with you. I thought that Colorado should stay 18. I couldn't agree with you more on that. As a matter of fact, I think there's kind of a case for them to actually have been 17, but we won't get into that. But I do agree.
The fact of the matter is UNC and Duke should not be anything north of 19 right now.
Yes, that I agree with that. That's pretty much where I was going. And in my opinion, to me, Tennessee should not even be ranked 25. Nope.
Boy, they're 23.
They're at 23. But they should not be in the top 25 at all. They should be out.
No, because they lost to a ranked opponent.
I'll tell you why I feel that way, and it's real simple. I saw two better matchups of teams that ended up being in the opposite poll. Okay, in the ACAFA poll and the coaches poll. All right, there's a team that jumped in now that was not. And quite frankly, there's a team that was not in the top 20. All right. The same way that Tennessee fell, a team joined in, and that was Clemson. And then Clemson got beat. And then Clemson all of a sudden is now 23, according to their poll. I'm not talking about AP poll. AP poll is different. Clemson is not in the AP poll, period. They're the next team up, as a matter of fact, in the AP poll. It is surprising to me, all right? And this is, I'm going to make your Washington State argument just now. Because in my opinion, Washington State actually should have been pushed up to the top 20 and even into the top 15 over North Carolina and Duke. All right. And there's even an argument for them to have gone over Oklahoma to a certain degree because Oklahoma does not have the same strength of schedule as quite a number of these teams that are particularly beneath them in this ranking. So, in my opinion, I think they got this one wrong. And I tend to agree with you.
Yeah, basketball schools and that ain't balling like that don't deserve.
No, not in my opinion. I agree with you on that.
Like, it's cool you winning. I
Mm-hmm.
think now here's my honest opinion, particularly on the two schools that are true basketball schools
Mm-hmm.
and happen to put together
Two good
some
football
run.
programs, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you manage to go 8 and 9 in a row, yeah, I give you 17 and 18.
Mm-hmm.
I give you that.
But you won't be.
No. I think UNC lose next week.
Mm-hmm. And the week after.
They should beat Syracuse, but they definitely gonna lose against Miami.
I don't know. They going Duke should definitely not be there. Not 18. Not 18. To me, that's the case. That's the case where Clemson should jump up.
Whoa! Wait a minute!
Mm-hmm.
Wait one damn minute. Syracuse is 3-0. Now Syracuse plays the Army. The Army is actually a pretty good team.
Yes, they are.
Army beat UTSA.
Yes, they did. And put up a pretty darn good game against Memphis. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
we're gonna close this thing out. If you are a coach of any kind, and the coach across from you is a Hall of Famer, an all-world athlete, so forth and so on. Here's a lesson. Appreciate the opportunity. Coach your kids to understand that, hey, guys, every week that we play, there's not going to be this. So put on your best show. Really put on your best show. And yeah, we want to go for a win, but we don't have to go about, they privileged, Deion this. No, we're not doing that. We showing up, we're going to show out the way we do it, and they're going to show up and show out the way they do it, and may the best team win.
correct.
If you are a coach. But if you decide to keep opening your mouth because somebody let you get sucker punched into some stupid shit and you got your ass, well, understand this. All you did was open up room for your resignation letter to be submitted before the season ends. And that's just the kind way for them to say, hey, he bowed out. If you choose not to, well, then they're gonna usher you up out of there like a hoe in church. They're gonna usher you right up out of there.
Yeah.
So here is the point that needs to be understood. If you are a coach, man, set your ego to the side when you facing a formidable opponent that has a resume that is extending his coaching career. You ain't worried about him as Deion the player because you ain't playing Deion the player. It's coach against coach.
Correct.
Do your best to outcoach the man.
Right.
If you don't do it that day, hey, congratulations, coach. Have a good one. Have a run at the season.
Mm-hmm.
If you decide to be unprofessional and get your ass whooped and you end up at another school and they looking like, well, we was looking just to get them guys on our ticket, but we understand you don't know how to keep your mouth shut. We ain't hiring you. You stupid. I've literally seen some athletic directors tell some coaches, no, we ain't hire you because you stupid. You want to know why they can say that? Because they got the money and the power to tell you, you stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but here's better. You got fans that don't have the money nor power that will sit here and tell you, you stupid. So, appreciate the moment. when you face a Coach Prime and Shador and Shiloh and Travis Hunter and Wilkerson and so many other great kids that are out there doing what they do, that bought into a structure that made them better athletes on the field, better people off the field. These guys are sound, which is what you don't get from a lot of programs in this country. You can go to Alabama, you might not get no structure like that.
Mm-mm.
You can go anywhere else, you might not get no structure that you're gonna get with a Coach Prime. So this is the reason why I got on my hat and my shades, because I look fly. I look good on my mama, on my hood. And understand, this hat ain't new. It's just new to you. I've been doing this. I've been doing this. Don't make me grab my black felt one. I've been doing this. So just be mindful of the position as a coach, as a leader, as an instructor, as an administrator, the power that you hold. Because what you want to do is you want to get your guys in the right position to understand these opportunities. When you make something personal and you ain't prepared, it shows. It shows. I can assure you right now that illegal hit that guy put on Travis Hunter, and at the end of the game, his shoulder was all out of whack. He messed up. He ain't playing next week.
Mm-mm.
You know, Kamara did all that. He ain't playing next week. Like, if you're smart, you're really not trying to do too much to bring any more attention to yourself. But hey, take y'all 0-2 asses home. Shut up. Damn fool. Coach Brian, you take your shades and your glasses off an interview, and you wearing a cap the whole time you've been doing interviews. Boy, listen.
Tell me, you didn't bring me out here to make sure that I stood in the place of that coach, did you? Be in your firing squad, did it?
Good. Not if you decided to get up there next to him. Man. First thing first.
Man,
if I'm a coach,
I have one question for you then. Have you met me?
Yeah, you like danger like that?
And I don't stand there and sabotage myself, much less let anybody else sabotage me. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. There was equal opportunities to find other measures of ways to say, hey, we're going to compete.
Yes.
Then, throwing a little underjab. My mama taught me better.
Yes.
Hey, you better be glad it was Coach Prime. Because had that been me, or had been me and my son on that field at the end of that game, I about to got me a nice little fine from handing out some old passionate ass whoopings. Because see, the problem is, in that position,
yeah,
if you think you can talk like that to me, the next person that may be a little bit more better than you and your team, they can open their mouth that way. So, yeah, I got to give my hat to Coach Prime for being a better human being than D. So I liable that been the one to tase him on the field. My mama taught me better. Oh, did she really? Did she teach you to wear rubber sole shoes? God bless you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think I've made my point for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the hell up and play the game quickly. I mean, you know your team is not prepared. You ain't prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, he gave all them boys in that room them exact shades he had on.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. Sir, you stood ill-advised. Who ill-advised you to do that? I know it wasn't your assistant coach, because that mofo didn't even want to stand next to you during the game. I know it wasn't your defensive coordinator, because
Mm-hmm.
he ain't looked at you.
Mm-hmm.
You knew it was bad when you sit up there. And yeah, at that point, that time you bring up that 11-point lead, you saw the hope in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we can maintain this. Soon as Colorado scored,
Mm-hmm.
that hope turned into fear.
Mm-hmm.
He tried his best to play cool and calm. You know that phone call had already took place. You know it took place. You
It had
don't
to.
have the complexion for the protection, my boy.
No.
Little Colin Kaepernick, your ass.
By the way, before I leave you, I got 2 words for you. Aaron Rodgers.
Yep, I got them same words for you too.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills. I try to tell you,
I got
Josh.
2 words
I
for
told you, Josh Allen ain't like that.
Yeah.
I told you. I said
you
they
know-
were going to lose that
Yes.
game.
Yes.
I told you. I said they're
Yes,
going to lose
you
that
did.
game.
Yes, you did. But I got 2 words for you. I'm gonna repeat them out loud with feeling. Aaron Rodgers. Didn't I say it takes one injury makes all the difference? All the hype gets crushed. Okay,
No, don't get me wrong. I already
because
said
what?
we understood that. But the point was, like I said,
Mm-mm.
Travis Hunter goes down.
Yes,
The next guy steps up on both sides of the ball, and you win the game. Hey,
I agree.
Aaron Rodgers went down, and guess what? Wilson
Yes.
comes in, and you win the ball game. Sound like they got a goddamn good program over there.
No, not really. That good program got its collective ass handed to them today. Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
Boy,
all the New
oh
York
boy,
teams, listen,
that was ugly.
all the New York teams right now,
Ugly.
do not
ugly.
listen. If you got any team on your schedule that is south of Virginia, do not play them.
No,
Except the Texans. You can
Except
play
Texans.
them all day, every day.
Yeah.
That's the only team you really want.
pretty much.
Everybody else that's south of Virginia, don't play them.
Yep.
Don't play them. Because their defenses is flying around.
Mm-hmm.
They're flying around.
Oh yeah.
Like Jacksonville lost today, but not by much.
Jacksonville played a damn good game. I was impressed by Jacksonville today. I really was. I wasn't just impressed by them. I was impressed too. Boy, oh boy. You know what? There's a lot of teams that passed up on the kid Minshew from that's now running Indy because of the injury to Richardson. There's a lot of teams that could have used him to just to play now, okay? Because teams didn't have quarterbacks coming into the season. Mm-hmm. Look, talking about Arizona, talking about Washington, talking about you name them. But right now, boy, yes, the benefit of playing a horrible team in Houston, but
he whoops them every time.
Every time.
He whoops them every time. So, hey, they got it. You know what? I'm glad you said it.
Go ahead.
D'Amico Ryan, I love you, fella, but you had no business taking that damn job. You could have went anywhere else in the world. You didn't have to come back.
Nope.
You already knew what that program was about.
Mm-hmm.
And because of who you are,
Yep.
this don't shape out. You got year 2. They're gonna show you. They're gonna show you your love to year 2, and after that, they gonna withdraw from you. But I wish you would have went elsewhere to where a team could have done you a solid justice. You know, you deserve better, and that organization is not it.
Nope.
So that
Not
that
even in the ballpark.
that organization, y'all are trash.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Houston. Y'all trash.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, oh, that's my team. Whatever. Your organization's trash. You can still love the players. I'm talking about the organization. And what happens is, what you fail to realize is, when the organization is running on all cylinders, everything beneath it does as well.
Everything works. Yep. Everything works. Not that
That's
team.
that's
not that organization.
Clear-cut sign.
Not that organization. Doesn't happen.
That's a clear
Not
cut
happen. Mm-mm.
Say what you want. Oh, the Patriots cheated. This, that. Yeah, this may be true.
Who
However,
cares?
that organization up top was running on all 4 cylinders.
Right.
They were cranking. They were well-oiled machine up top.
Mm-hmm.
And so forth, to the point that they would probably pre-celebrating Super Bowls the previous year, which
Pretty
they should
much.
have, because the top office was taking care of business. There's nothing to be said.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That conversation is a quick conversation. It really is a done deal.
Now, what I really, 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 really got to get on people about.
Uh-oh. What?
Oh, let me put my black cap on.
Uh-huh.
Y'all gonna leave my boy Lamar Jackson alone.
No.
Y'all gonna leave him alone.
No. Sorry. No. Nope.
Y'all leave my boy Lamar Jackson alone.
No. Mm-mm. Sorry. Mm-mm.
Nope. Y'all gonna leave him alone.
Nope. Sorry. I gotta disagree with you on that. No. Oh no, sir. No escape for him. No escape for him. Better than Josh Allen, yes. Better than Josh Allen, yes.
No, hold on.
Better than Josh Allen, yes.
Wait.
There's no other.
Hold on. Because if you're gonna say there's no escape for him, then it better not be no pass for Josh Allen's ass ever.
No, there isn't. I agree.
Because there's been too many times where people done gave Josh Allen's sorry ass a good pass.
No, he gets no pass. Nuh-uh. No, he played
Lamar,
the crappiest.
Lamar, you can get off my boy.
He played the crappiest. Okay. The crappiest Raiders team that I've seen in years. All right. I've seen some bad Raider teams. This is a bad Raider team. Bad.
He got his, but I'm talking about my guy Lamar Jackson. Y'all get up off of him.
No, can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Sorry, I can't do it. I got nothing but love. Listen, I got nothing but love for the city of Baltimore.
No,
my
fuck
sister,
Baltimore.
Listen,
my boy Lamar Jackson, 24 for 33.
Yes,
2 TDs,
nice.
no interceptions.
Yes, that's nice.
We're not having this discussion.
When on the day you should have probably had a 5 touchdown day. Because quite frankly, you were better than Cincinnati's entire defense. On your own, you were better than Cincinnati's defense. Cincinnati's defense went to sleep and were let off the hook by 6 penalties. Okay?
That's not Lamar's fault.
No. I'm going to repeat what I just said. You should have been able to defeat the Cincinnati Bengals because their defense went to sleep. You should have beaten them by 5 touchdowns. Why? Because if you simplify, and this I'm going to put on your offensive coordinator as well. If you simplify his game, put receivers in the right spots, okay? You got 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns without question. Okay? Because Cincinnati's defense went to bed in the first half and stayed there the remainder of the game. The remainder of that game. Cincinnati was garbage today. Garbage. Come on. That's not even a question.
Well, they
not
0-2,
even a question. Thus, no argument. Okay. But you should have beaten them soundly. You shouldn't have just scraped by them. You shouldn't have just beaten them. You should have beat them soundly because they had nothing going on. Cincinnati had nothing going on offensively, and they were worse defensively.
That still ain't got nothing to do with Lamar Jackson. We're talking about Lamar Jackson himself. We want to go team comparison. I'll give you that. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson.
I would have rumbled. I would have rumbled the whole day.
Lamar Jackson performed.
If I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm running through that whole team. I'm running through them. You know what? My guys keep getting covered, blah, blah, blah. Or, some of my guys are not completing full routes. Beckham gets hurt. Okay. I'm going to run through this team. Because you know why? Because they couldn't stop the run. Honestly, they could barely stop the run. And quite frankly, Lamar can kill teams with his legs.
He can.
Point blank, he should have killed them with his legs today. He should have absolutely killed him with his legs today.
He won. And he got no interceptions.
That's my point.
He won.
Yeah. That's nice. You should destroy him. In a moment when you beat,
that's a division win. That's a division win. That's a division win.
Yes, I agree with you. In a moment when you beat, that's great. But in a moment when you should destroy, okay, that's a team you should have destroyed.
Well, you're dismissing the fact that they did play Cincinnati.
I didn't say that they didn't beat a division team. I didn't say that they didn't beat.
You're dismissing the fact that they played Cincinnati on Cincinnati's field.
That's nice.
That's a difference maker. What you're not understanding is you talking about being head and shoulders above them. Yes, there was opportunity. There was, and there was also penalties. When you got a drive that you literally had 3 holding penalties back to back. That's 30 yards.
Yes.
It's first and 40.
Yes.
I've only seen that take place on video games.
Oh God.
When you say first and 40 and this man wins,
happen. Yes.
I'm talking about give Lamar his credit. Because we sit here and people act like he's never won a league MVP.
Yes.
He's put the ball where it needs to be. Yes. He's made sound decisions.
Yes.
Outside of injuries that kept them from going to certain places. If Lamar Jackson plays last year, playoff picture looks extremely different.
Very different. Extremely different.
Josh Allen, your final year last year, which was the Bills' best chance.
I got a question. Why do you keep pushing this back on Josh Allen like I'm pom-pomming Josh Allen? I could care less about Josh Allen.
No, what I
could care less about Josh Allen.
I'm saying is people put him so far ahead.
Who cares?
Of a field that he's not even in.
I'm not one of those people, so I could care less, bro. I could care less.
That's my whole
I could care less. We can go back to that same conversation we had in terms of top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Okay. And I can tell you right now that there's at least 13 quarterbacks that are better than Josh Allen. Okay.
Dak Prescott being one of them.
Good for Dak Prescott. Also, Jalen Hurts. Also,
a lot of people don't want to admit that.
Oh, no, you're not walking me down that one. You ain't walking.
No, I'm taking that walk because
go ahead, walk yourself, knock yourself out, please, please.
If you look at Dak Prescott, 5-year window, and interceptions, and you compare it to Josh Allen's 5-year window interceptions, Well, Josh Allen is winning that battle
easily.
So why are they saying he's so much better than Dak? I don't understand. But
I
then,
don't know who's these days, but as long as I don't fit in that category, because I don't.
so keep
I'm
trying
good
to put
to.
him over Jalen Hurts, Lamar.
I will put Lamar. I'm not ready to put Jalen Hurts there yet. It is one full season. One full season doesn't equal to 5 seasons. I agree with you. The window needs to be more broad. It needs to be more broad. It can't be just so simple. It's got to be more broad. If you gave me what that window should be, it's Pat Mahomes. It's Lamar Jackson. I'll grant you. I'll grant you Dak.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you have to put Tom Brady back in the window, even though now he's done. You have to put Aaron Rodgers there because he's still active.
He's active, but he's out. And in Tom Brady numbers over the past 3 years amongst these guys,
I didn't say 3. I did say 5.
No, don't matter. If you go 5 years, his numbers from the time that Lamar and Patrick entered into the league has not matched.
I have a hard time with that one, but okay.
No, okay. You can. Let's think about it.
Okay.
During that 5-year window.
During the 5-year window, we're talking about 2018. We're talking about 2018 to 2022. Okay, 2017 to 2022.
Those two guys.
Yes.
In that 5-year window.
Yes.
One has went to 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
1, 2. Mm-hmm. He's been to AFC championships.
Mm-hmm.
Just about every year.
Yes.
The other guy has been in the running of MVP and has taken one. The other guy has also been MVP, Super Bowl, and MVP of the league. And guess what? One Aaron Rodgers was around.
Yes. All those things are true. I can't disagree with him.
So, top 10? No. His numbers didn't wasn't there. And then you allowed a guy to come out of nowhere who missed his first season. His second season, he takes a team that hadn't seen no playoff action in 30 years to a Super Bowl. Then he takes them back to an AFC championship game. And guess what? Aaron Rodgers was present.
I understand where you're going with that. This is chicken and egg right here. I understand where you're going with that. This is chicken and egg. No, not so fast. I hear where you're going with that, but this is chicken and egg. This is a different argument. Then this is a different argument entirely. And what makes it a different argument is the fact that now you're waging it up against victories. You're waging it up against Super Bowl victories, including that in the argument. And that argument can't be made because none of those other guys are anywhere close to having even spent 1 second playing in a Super Bowl. Dak been in a Super Bowl lately?
No, Dak has not been in a Super Bowl.
Lamar been in a Super Bowl. Dak
has been more proficient, average per reception and yards per catch.
Has Lamar been in a Super Bowl lately?
No, neither has Aaron in the 5-year window.
This is all true. Nor
has he been to an NFC conference championship.
And this is what I was about to ask. This is why.
So that's why Aaron
doesn't fit. But this argument doesn't fit because there's a few guys in that particular range of time, okay, in the past 5 years. Because you have to remember, there's a couple of guys who retired at the beginning of that routine, at the beginning of that particular era, okay, who the argument for top 10 then becomes
what you want to do is you want to summarize top 10 guys for the past 5 years.
It's like this. Hang on. It's like this. That would be like me saying I can't include Drew Brees. because he's in the middle of that argument. He's right at the beginning of that particular era. He actually retires 1 year later. So he's right there. So that's like trying to compare Drew Brees. That's saying, okay, who do I think I want to try to, include in that argument with Drew Brees in the argument?
The three white guys that you mentioned.
Let's not do that. Let's not.
No, I'm going to do that because I'm going to say the three white guys you mentioned, two of them retired.
Yes.
One is on
that's what I'm saying to you.
But hold on. What I'm saying to you is when I say top 10 and when it works in football, it's the season. If we want to say all-time greats, that's a different discussion.
I'm not talking about all-time greats. I am talking about seasons, and I'm talking about these past 5 seasons. And
these past 5 seasons don't matter because what did Tom Brady do last year?
Tom Brady claimed he was retiring, came back, didn't do well, barely made the playoffs.
Before that?
Barely made the playoffs, fell out.
What did he do before that?
The season before that, won. No,
he did.
He won 2 playoff games and they got bounced. No. Go ahead. Next.
No, they didn't.
What did he do before that?
No, you got your timeline wrong.
What did he do before in 2021?
Timeline wrong. When he got there, they won. The next year, they got cleaned out.
I know, and then he was retiring at the end of the 2021.
No, you said he won 2 games.
At the end of the 2021 season,
he did not win 2 playoff games.
He was retiring. He called himself, "I'm retired." He came back, but 6 weeks later, okay, start the season. They're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. They barely make the playoffs to get bounced out. He retires. Isn't that what happened? Last season, hang on. Last season, they did not. They made the playoffs, but they then got bounced out. First round.
So Tom Brady's last 5 seasons.
Go ahead.
New England Patriots. We all know what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went to Tampa Bay.
Yes.
They won.
What year is that? Wait, what year is that?
That was 2020.
Okay. Go ahead.
2021. Bounced. Did not win no 2 playoff games. 2022. Snuck in there and got his ass sent home like he should have been. So, even like I said, if you want to go last 5 years, by the numbers, I only threw Super Bowls in there because the fact of they had those numbers to get them to a Super Bowl. Right. Nobody is getting to a Super Bowl with 50 yards passing per game.
This is true.
So clearly, these other boys was airing it out,
right?
Hitting their marks, getting MVPs,
mm-hmm.
getting past postseasons, and they were doing their job. So top 10 quarterbacks for this year would not include an Aaron Rodgers, and it wouldn't even include him last year.
No, it would not, because Aaron Rodgers was injured midway through the season, missed games, came back, played, was garbage when he came back and played. No,
but the point I'm making is you see how far you have to reach back just to put him in the conversation.
I understand, but the point is, if you're going to do this, okay, we're talking about this in 2 different ways. No problem. I'm not saying that Dak Prescott does not get his flowers. I've got no issue with Dak Prescott, period.
Yeah.
I've got no issue with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson should get his flowers too. No issue. None. Okay? None. I happen to be a fan of Lamar Jackson. I kind of wish the Giants had actually drafted him. But that's a different story for a different day.
Is that man's career? Hell no.
I don't think so. But
who the hell blocking for him?
All right. Different discussion, different day. Okay,
you ain't got nobody to block for.
Because two things are gonna happen. Number one, you're gonna run out of time. Two, I'm gonna run out of power. Well, this is a different story.
No,
Not
you ain't nobody to block
listen. Stop.
Shit.
Okay. Not getting into that with you.
You ain't got nobody to block for Daniel now.
You ain't got nobody to block for Daniel now with three linemen injured. Exactly.
And even if they was present, they would not know. They were not marquee. They were not marquee guys.
They're not marquee guys. Why you always need a marquee guy to always make things happen? I've seen some. Listen, I've seen some soapbox derby guys who will stand up to as long as they can stand up straight and they can make that block.
That has won a title with subpar linemen.
You think that the Giants 2000 which one was that?
The team that they beat
07
Patriots teams?
07, hang on. The 07 team had stars on that offensive line?
That O-line was a dog.
Stars on that offensive
line. That O-line was a dog.
Yes, it was a dog.
Eli was the issue.
Dog.
No. Eli was the issue at the time.
The 07 team, bro, that's my team. And I'm sorry, you're going to lose this one.
Okay. You want to go there?
Listen, you're going to lose this one because here's why.
You want to go there?
Because that particular team, the 07 Giants that won the Super Bowl that year, okay, had 5 offensive linemen. I will tell you this much about them. They had to sign all 4. They had to sign 4 of the 5 guys to be able to lock up, to be able to put an offensive line together. And amongst them, okay, not one of those guys, not one of them. Now, there's a lot of them that will show up on, TV shows here and there, but not one of them is a star per se. All 5 of them were dogs, but not one of them was stars. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. No.
All right.
On that O-line? On that O-line?
Hold on. We're gonna get
stars?
right to it.
David Deal was their best offensive lineman in that entire line. Come on. That's my team, bro. That's my team, bro.
What you trying to say about him, though?
Because what I'm saying is that he wasn't a star, but he was a solid player. Every single one of those guys were solid. They were not. They were dogs, and they wanted it, but they were not best at anything. They were all good to be able to balance out together, and they made plays, okay? They were not stars. No.
Hell no.
Oh, no.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
On that offensive line?
Hell no.
No. Not one of those guys was stars. No.
Let me help you out. Do you know who was on the other side of them boys?
On their defensive line?
Do you know who was on the other side of them boys?
Bruh.
Do you know who was on the other side of them?
Michael Strahan.
Who else?
Ocio Minora. Justin Tuck. Don't tell me my team. I told you this before. Don't tell me my team.
You're missing one.
I will say it one more time. Don't tell me my team. Bro,
you're missing one.
Don't tell
me
my team.
You're missing one.
I ain't talking about. I said nothing about a defensive line. I said
no.
On the
O-line, no, what you're failing to realize is this how this works.
No.
You cannot face up against those guys week in and week out and be subpar.
Of course not. I'm not talking about the D line. You talking to me about D line?
Okay,
I'm talking
you're not
about
listening.
O-line.
Let me help you out. What I said, to help you out. In contrast, you cannot face up against those guys week in and week out and go be subpar.
Of course,
that just doesn't work. It don't work.
I'm gonna say this one more time. I said they are not stars. I understand what you're saying. They are not stars. They were a solid line. That O-line was a solid line, but that O-line did not have one star off that line. All 5 of those guys were solid offensive linemen. Name 5 people better than them. Let me think. I could easily pick out at least a bunch of guys off that Patriots line that were better than them.
Were they?
I could pick out a bunch of and in both on both teams.
Were they?
On both of those teams.
And
The
didn't beat them.
Patriots line wasn't better than the Giants line?
No. Absolutely not. You go look at schedule.
Dude. Oh, man. Okay. All right, bro.
Absolutely fucking not.
Oh no. Patriots line wasn't better than the Giants
No.
line? Oh, come on now. Look,
What happened that year? What happened that year?
The Giants won the Super Bowl.
Okay, go back. What happened that year?
That year, if you're talking about the 07 line, 07 team, that 07 season, Patriots were perfect right up until that point.
Okay, who was the last team they played of the regular season?
Last team they played was the Giants, and they beat them.
What was the Giants? What was the score?
Something. I'm fine, babe. I'm fine. See, she's scared for me.
What was the score?
I'm not scared for you.
I don't have that in front of me.
All your friends.
No, they don't have to be. They don't have to be.
Careful what you need.
Go for it. Let me reach for my trusty handy dandy notebook.
This is the room everybody goes in to have a private conversation. We can hear you clear as a bell.
Well, that's good. That means I'm doing my job.
That means you're having a heart attack.
Nothing close to it. See, she's scared for me. All right. I said she's scared for me.
Good luck.
All right, schedule. Let's see now. Come on, you bastard. Come on. All right, here we go. Let's go backwards in time. So let's go to 07.
Mm-hmm.
38-35.
Bingo.
In a game where, oh, by the way, Patriots were sitting a bunch of their starters because they had nothing to play for. Absolutely nothing to play for.
They did not. Because
they were sitting a bunch of their starters.
No, they didn't. No, they did not. No, they didn't. That's a false narrative.
Hang on.
Because you want to know why they didn't? They were going for the perfect record. Everybody played. Randy Moss played. Everybody played. Because they were going for the record.
16-0. Hang on.
They were going for the record. Everybody played.
Hang on. So we make sure we get this right.
Everybody played.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hold on. Full box score. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Okie doke. All right. Tom Brady, 32 of 42, 356, 2 touchdowns.
Hello. How you think you do that?
Hold on. One sack, 14 yards. For 10 yards, excuse me. You had 1, 2, 3.
All the starters played. There's nothing to go off. All the starters played.
You had
because they won for the record.
Can I get this out my mouth, please? You had 3 running backs play, putting up a total of 20, 24, 22, hang on, 19, 20, 22. 22 carries for what was 40.
What are we doing?
50,
we just proved
48 yards.
Played.
Even if you played everybody in this game,
they played. It was no even. They played.
Even if you played
had
in this
11
game,
receptions for 122.
Even if you played in this game, how much are you really playing out there? It's really not a game.
Maroney had 19 carries, bro.
Maroney had 19 carries for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And 2 touchdowns. He played. He played, bro.
Up against Maroney, defense.
Maroney was not the leading guy like that. He played. All the guys played. He was the one that benefits from it.
Oh, by the way, all those same guys that you mentioned on defense also played for the Giants as well. And they didn't even
everybody played. Your argument was they set the starters out.
Yeah, okay. Fine. You get your argument won there, okay? All right?
So that just goes to show you New York was like that. Because
Yes, New York was like that.
if they wasn't, they would say, listen, it's just the Giants.
Yes, New York's defense was like that. It still ended up being
too, because guess what?
It still ended up being a field goal game.
Rodney Poole started. Deion Branch started.
Dude, it still ended up being a field goal game. We're not talking about a game in which the Giants turned around and blew them out by 4 touchdowns. We're not talking about a game
and we're not talking about a game where they got blown out by 4 touchdowns.
Exactly.
So my point is that O-line was like that because you don't put up 5 touchdowns if you're not on the NFL level. Then you went on a run after that game. You were on the road. You were the only team on the road to go beat everybody asses in their house.
Correct.
There's no discussion.
Do you know what was the key factor in the Giants being able to get through those 4 games?
Beating everybody ass.
What was the key factor in that in winning those games?
What you're trying to do is you're trying to denote that offensive line.
I'm asking you a question.
No, you answering. What you're trying to do is you're trying to denote that offensive line.
I'm not. I'm trying to ask you
You're clearly waiting to denote them.
D, slow down.
You're denoting them.
Take a breath. D, take a breath.
I'm breathing fine. You're trying to denote that O-line.
D, take a breath. I'm asking you a question that has nothing to do with the offensive line.
Okay,
nothing to do with the defensive line. I'm trying to ask you a question that is entirely different.
Okay.
What was the key factor to the Giants being able to win these 4 games?
Scoring offensive points.
What could they do that everybody else was not doing, particularly at that particular time?
Keeping their defensive on the side, having them well rested.
Try running backs. They had a big, huge. Slow down. Hear me out first.
You got to make sense.
Hear me out first.
You want to say running back?
If you let me, I will.
Okay, you got to make this clear.
All right, try to listen. You have a big, huge running back named Brandon Jacobs, who's as big as a bunch of who is as equally big, as your offensive lineman.
Booby don't matter.
Booby does matter, and I'll tell you why Booby matters.
I'm gonna tell you why he didn't.
Booby matters for a huge reason. A huge reason.
He does not.
He does. And he matters for a big reason in a lot of those games that they played during the regular season during that year. Okay?
And you're denoting the O-line.
I'm not. I swear to you, I'm not.
You are. You sit here and mention the running game, and we all know you can't run the ball without whom?
I know you can't run it without an offensive line, but your offensive line was not. Forget it. You know what? Okay, you're right. I don't feel like arguing this one because, like I said, I watched this team myself. I went to these games. Okay, they're my team. This is not like I have to go and figure out whether or not this is somebody else's team, whether or not I know anything about them. This is my team.
Who was the other running back?
A Giant fan, Armand Bradshaw. Okay, who was outstanding.
What was both of their numbers?
Outstanding.
What was both of their
numbers? Jacobs was 27. Bradshaw.
No. What were their numbers
in terms of
yards?
Let's go back. Let's see. Got to give me a game during that time to be able to answer. So if we're talking about, okay, hang on. Let's start with Bradshaw. Okie doke. Let's do stats. Thank you. All right, 07. 12 games played, 23 carries, 190 yards, 8.3 yards average. Touchdown, His longest run was 88 yards.
What was his total numbers on the year?
That is his for the whole year. 07. What else you want to know? Want to go with Jacobs? Let's go with Jacobs. Hang on. Let's go get Jacobs. Let's go stats. Okay. Oh, 07, 11 games played, 202 carries, 1,009 yards, 5 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns. Longest was 43 yards, 4 fumbles,
1,009
9
yards.
yards, 1,009. Mm-hmm.
He was the guy.
Well, they split that, but yes, for the most part, he was the guy.
He was the guy.
For the most part, he was the guy. Yes, absolutely.
He was the guy.
Yes.
So you got all that real estate behind that line,
Mm-hmm.
and you say they're just subpar. They go on the road
Mm-hmm.
and beat a damn good Green Bay team.
Mm-hmm.
A damn good
Uh-huh.
Green Bay team.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Let's even look at that for a second, just so we can talk about that particular thing. On that, in terms of Brandon Jacobs, 07 in the playoffs. We're just gonna break this up just like this. In the 4 games he played, 62 carries for 197 yards. So, matter of fact, he's carrying at 3.2 an average. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
3 touchdowns. His longest run was 12 yards.
It's the playoffs. It is the playoffs.
In 4 games. In 4 games.
It's the playoffs. You gotta remember, you got a guy coming into the postseason on 1,000 yards. What do you think I'm going to do as a defensive coach? Because I know who you got out there to the left.
No kidding.
I know who you got out there. So I need to shut him down because I don't need that guy out there to the left to get open.
Oh, I don't need to shut him down. Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
So I can't let your run game be a threat.
Mm.
They put up 24 first downs to Green Bay's 13. 24 first downs. 243 net passing. 377 against Green Bay. Only 1 turnover.
1.
Only 1 turnover.
Right.
Time of possession, 40 minutes.
In a brick cold, and I mean brick cold game.
So
-2 degrees.
With 72,740 something people present for that game.
Yes.
Them dudes was on point.
Yes. I didn't say they weren't prepared. I didn't say they were just slobs, just standing upright and just taking hits. I didn't say that. I said they were not stars. They were a solid line. Solid. Stars, no. But solid, absolutely.
You can't win with solid. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna
Giants
say
did.
that.
Giants did not. And in fact, most people were kind of like, I remember, believe me, the headlines that were going on over that line, okay, that season, that off season before before they started that season, people were laughing because they were like, outside of this deal guy, who the hell is the rest of this team? Who the hell is the rest of this offensive line? And that line shut people up because they were keeping Eli upright. Didn't have stars, but they had guys who could play. And the guys that they had that could play, okay, were players, and they were solid. They were not championship. This was not a championship line, but it was a solid line. Okay, it was a solid line.
They weren't a championship line, but yet they made it in the playoffs.
Sure, because one thing we do know, you and I both know this. Any given Sunday, and for their Sundays, they were that for every given Sunday. Now, here's the thing: if they had been all that in a bag of chips, you repeat. If that's the case, because you had the same defense, you had literally on that Giant team, you had the same defense, the literal same defense, literal same quarterback, most of the same personnel. So if you're really that deep, if you had stars, think about it. If you're the Patriots can boast that. They can absolutely boast that without even having to think about it.
But because they got all the
how much hardware they got.
They got the hardware, but they also got proven methods that other things took place for them to do that.
Listen, if I had to put that up against what they were able to do, okay? If that's the case, the Giants are the only team that got them amongst those 7 championships. Amongst 9 times going to the Super Bowl, okay? The Giants were the only team that got them and got them twice. So think about it for a second. And here's the thing. Giants didn't even go back to going to the playoff. I mean, going back to going to another Super Bowl until that 11 season. So it's not like this was Bills and whomever. Okay, every year that the Bills ended up being in the Super Bowl 4 consecutive years.
Was the offense the same?
Offense was the same. The line, in fact, the thing about it was the line. That every bit of the line was the same, with the exception, if I'm not mistaken, they had one change, and it was a guard that had to be changed from the 7 team to the 11 team. Everybody else was pretty much the same, with the exception
the guy that you mentioned was not a Pro Bowler.
With the exception of
Chris Snead, Pro Bowler, Sean O'Hara, Pro Bowler.
Yes.
Again, not peons.
Not peons.
And that was in 2008.
Yes. These are not. I mean, these were not. Garbage. I'm not calling them garbage. The offensive line that played for the Giants at the time was not garbage. Not by a long shot. World beaters? No. But solid? Definitely. Definitely. Solid players? No question. No question. Let's not call them, perennials, because they weren't perennial players. These were not perennial players. Solid players, definitely. You had a couple of all pros, as you mentioned. But stars?
How many touchdowns Eli had for his career? Just throw a number out there.
Eli's had something like. Hold on a second. Let me see something. Shit. Fuck. Come on. Manning. Here we go. Manning. Eli Manning had 366 touchdowns for his career
And 366 interceptions.
and 244 interceptions.
No, he's 50-50.
No, it's not.
That's the reason why he's not in the Hall of Fame right now, because they trying
Eli
to figure
Manning's
out.
career numbers, Eli Manning's career numbers are as follows: 57,023 yards total. Okay, in his career, he completed
What are you looking at?
4,895 passes. Okay, in 8,119 attempts for a 60.3 completion rate, 57,023 yards, 7 yards per throw, 366 touchdowns versus 244 interceptions. His longest was 99 yards, a passer rating of 84.1%.
No, it's his wins and losses.
50-50.
I was thinking about. His wins and losses.
50-50.
His wins and losses are 50.
Okay, that's correct. That's correct. But not touchdowns, interceptions. No. No.
No, that's irrelevant. I mean,
Right.
wins and
His
losses.
win-loss record is a different story.
50-50. Now,
Go ahead.
given the fact that 244 interceptions come out, that means this man had time to throw that.
I agree. I'm not.
So
look, you're trying to tell me that he had a line that stood up every day, every down on literally on every play. And I'll tell you right now. First of all, his line changed after what season was that? The 13 or 14 season, because 3 of those guys retired almost at the same time. As a matter of fact, Snee, I know, retired because he had 2 bad knees and he was done. David Deal retired because he had a bad back, and if I'm not mistaken, I see this guy in my head too, the center. You had Snee, a Deal, you had O'Hara. O'Hara retired because he had a bad back. He had 1 busted knee. He had a foot injury that he could never shake. Okay. They released him. He left. He came back. Okay. And he was still no good. And he knew he had to retire. So that entire line ended. Sean O'Hara.
Who do you mention?
Sean O'Hara.
The Pro Bowler.
Sorry?
The Pro Bowler.
Yeah. He had a bad back. Everybody remembers he had a bad back, and he had a bad knee, and he had a bad foot.
And who was the other guy you mentioned?
It's Chris Snee and David Deal.
And David
those
Deal
guys,
was
I knew when they retired. Matter of fact, if you ever are able
David
to catch,
Deal was what?
Hang on. If you ever offensive lineman, if you ever catch, he was a tackle. No, David Deal was not a tackle. He was a guard. O'Hara, Chris Snee was the other guard. He was one guard. Deal was the guard. Snee was the guard. O'Hara was the center. And Deal was the other guard. Those 2 in particular, they got banged up bad. That's pretty much what ended their career.
Rich Silbert was the guard.
Yes, but he would switch. He could play both. He could play both guard and center.
No, but he was the guard.
But he played both.
No, he played majority of the games at guard.
I hear you, but he could play both. And he did a lot.
Rich was the guard.
Rich Seibert was a guard who started as a center. They switched him. They would switch him a lot.
He was the guard.
All right. As I started to say, you can catch David Deal today playing as co-host when it comes to the Giants here. Locally, there is Madison Square Garden Network, and they air a lot of the Giants access shows, and he's playing co-host to their things these days. He's slimmed down incredibly since his playing days, because he said quote, my back was so bad that I could not carry the weight that I was carrying once I retired. So I had to slim down to save my life.
Oh, we got. I mean, that's all relevant to the '07
Okay,
season.
my point is, I remember these guys quite well. These guys were not, these guys weren't road graders, but these guys were good. As a
So
matter of fact,
he was 16 and
as
16.
a matter of fact, the last
That
guy,
season.
hang on, the last guy that they got, the last guy, and his name escapes me at the second. The last guy that they got, the one who ended up being the other tackle, okay, was a kid that they picked up from the Jets, as a matter of fact, at the time, because he was playing guard for the Jets. I mean, playing tackle for the Jets. Jets released him. Giants picked him up. He joined that line. They went to the Super Bowl that year when they picked him up. Mm-mm-mm.
One Pro Bowl. Okay. So when Buddy got the Super Bowl, he went into another team.
Yeah, who's that?
Mm-mm-mm-mm. So he was not there in 11. And that would be Rich.
Yeah, curious features on my face.
And David Deal only went to one Pro Bowl.
Only
Oh,
one.
O'Hara went to 3.
Mm-hmm. Kareem McKenzie was the other one. That was the other tackle, Kareem McKenzie. I couldn't remember his name.
He was
Kareem
on the right.
McKenzie played for the Jets, was released by the Jets. Giants picked him up. They won that year. He was the tackle, the last tackle that joined the team. Deal was the tackle.
Snead went to 4 Pro Bowls. And 1 All Pro.
O'Hara was the center. Seibert was the guard. Seibert was the guard, but he started.
Yeah, but David Deal wasn't the star that you say he was.
He was a tackle.
Yeah, but he wasn't the star that you say he was. And
I know he.
That's what I'm. He only went to 1 Pro Bowl. The rest of these guys went to multiple.
I know that.
Outside of Kareem having the 2 Super Bowls.
Super Bowls.
That's
yes.
it. So
that's pretty much it. There's nothing else there.
That's it. But the ones that were the impact guys, the ones you said were not stars, those guys have multiple Pro Bowls selections, and one has an All Pro selection. But you said there were no stars on that O line.
There weren't. There's linemen. Okay. I'm not all right. I'm not gonna fight you on this one. I'm just not. I've seen offensive linemen who spend 14, 15, 16 seasons play with one team, walk away 10 Pro Bowls, okay? Even in some cases, 10 All-Pros.
Wait.
These
You
guys
said there
were
were no
not
stars.
stars. They were solid. They were a solid line. And you have to remember, all of them didn't all play together. For more. As a matter of fact,
That don't matter.
how many of them?
No stars.
Hang on. You're looking at the same stats I am, okay? How many of them played more than 5 years?
Don't matter. The years
How
that they
many
did
of
play
them?
don't matter. That don't. Why is 5? What the fuck is 5? 5 means absolutely nothing to nobody.
To a
You said
football
there were
player?
no stars.
Hold on.
You said
To a football player?
you said
To
there
a
was no
football
stars.
player.
So
To a
let me ask you
football
this:
player.
Was
5
Rocket
years
Houston
doesn't
healthy?
matter to a football player? Dude, you were a football player. How is it that you're even saying that?
Don't matter.
5 years?
What you're talking about is irrelevant. You said there were no stars.
Wait, you just said 5 years doesn't
Don't
matter
mean
to a
shit.
football player?
It doesn't. You know how many guys played 10 years and not did anything? Been in the bench? That don't mean shit. What have you done?
How many guys have you been projected to have been, 15-year starters? They only
So
get
those
3
guys,
years.
how many guys you said don't play 5 years, right? How many guys can you say within 5 years got 2 Super Bowl rings?
Well, there's not many.
Okay.
There's
There's plenty on that team, though.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more in New England.
Whoa. From that same O-line that you said had no stars.
There's a lot more in New England, my friend. There's a lot more in New England. A lot more.
We're not talking about New England. We're talking about New York Giants.
There's a lot more in New England. And believe me,
we're not talking about New England. We're talking about the New York Giants. Because if we can go there, we can go Pittsburgh Steelers. We can go San Francisco 49ers.
Exactly.
We can go Dallas
That's
Cowboys.
the point.
But we're talking about the New York Football Giants.
Yes, and the New York Football Giants
in this case that had no stars.
You
said had no stars on the O-line, but yet you have three guys that were in the middle of that line that had Pro Bowl selection. Two of them got multiple Pro Bowl selections, and one of them got an All-Pro selection, and you said no stars. And most of those guys got 2 rings.
Stars. They've got rings, yes. Okay. For that
they got rings and selections.
Hang on. For that matter, if that's the case, then where's the argument? Then hang on. If that's the case, then how you turned around and you just said to me just now, okay, that Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer. Okay.
Because of the wins and losses factor.
If the wins and losses made a difference to keeping him out of the Hall of Fame.
That's not that.
Okay.
Wait, you're going all
if
wrong.
The wins and the losses, if that's
you're making the wrong turn.
Wait, is this your argument? Your argument to me just
you're
now
making
was
a wrong. You're making a wrong turn,
dude. It's either gotta be.
No, you're making a wrong.
Qualified to get in, or you're not.
So here's the situation.
You can't have it both ways.
Here's the situation. There's no both ways to your argument. There is
no both ways to my argument. I'm not looking for it.
So here's the situation. What you're trying to do is you're trying to take the situation of Eli's 50-50 wins and losses and try to compare it to the line. The line's wins and losses may not be 50-50.
Actually, what I'm actually doing is actually removing the argument, because what doesn't justify it is the fact that you can't use that as a reason to keep him out of the Hall of Fame. As a matter of fact,
they can do whatever they want to do. They kept COs out of being the first round ballot.
It is not the argument that can be made to make that happen. It can't.
What you mean? Do you have a vote?
Can I ask you a question?
Do you have a vote?
A serious question.
Do you have a vote? You don't have a vote
today, right now. Okay, today, right now. Do you think Ben Roethlisberger is a Hall of Famer?
What are we talking about?
I'm asking you. Do you think Ben Roethlisberger is Hall of Famer?
No. What does that have to do with the committee?
I'm asking you a simple question. Do you?
No,
think
you're not. You're not
Yes,
answering. No, you're not. You're not, Dan. What you're saying is based on what he's done, does that make him a Hall of Famer? Ben doesn't have a 50-50 win and loss record.
Does Ben have 2 Super Bowl rings?
Yes, he does. He went to 3.
He went to 3 and he won 2, didn't he? Right?
Yeah, he did.
All right.
And he's also got a shit ton of AFC Championship visits.
This is true.
We're not talking the same situation. We're talking about in the case of the committee, to be eligible, you got to have that window, that time frame. You're a part away from the game. Their argument, the committee's argument, is because he is 50-50.
Yes.
How do we make this presentation? Because he's 50-50 wins and losses, although he's got 2 Super Bowl rings. Where do we put that in? That's the committee's situation. No, that's the reason why he doesn't have his yellow coat yet. His brother's in. Peyton Ben got his coat.
Okay, bro. Let's close the show on this. We've been at this now for almost 3 hours.
The arguments you were making are flawed. You said there were no.
My arguments are not flawed because you're not even let me get them out of my mouth.
What are you talking about? You said there were no stars on that team. We pulled up the fact that we pulled up the numbers. They're there. There were all pros and Pro Bowlers, multiples, and you said they were not stars.
No, they're not.
Dan, how many people get to be Pro Bowlers, Dan?
Very few.
For that season in that position, how many
people
get to be Pro Bowlers?
Very few. Very few.
Right. How many people get to do it multiple times?
Very few. Even fewer.
Okay. You had 3 guys who did that, and you said there were no stars on that line.
Got a question for you then. How come neither one of them was in the Hall?
Is there time up for
it? They've been out the league now. Each one of them has been out of the league now for more than 10 years.
Okay.
If that's the case.
Hold on.
Excuse me. If that's the case.
Because your argument is flawed. If that's the case, there's still guys from the Steelers that's not in there.
Hang on. If that's the case, these are guys who have been out of the league, each one of them, okay?
Right.
For more than 10 years.
Okay.
If that's the case, is there no argument for them to be in? Are you certain
it's been more than 10 years?
Last time I saw David Deal playing football.
David Deal doesn't count because David Deal only has 1 Pro Bowl.
David Deal has been out of football since 2013.
Yeah, he only has
Chris
1 Pro
Snead
Bowl.
Chris Snead has been out of football since 2000.
We're not talking about David Deal because your argument with David Deal was he was the guy. He wasn't the guy. He only got 1 Pro Bowl.
Then let's go with Chris Snead. Okay, who has the multiple? If Chris Snead has multiple, okay, and there's a lot of guys who are already in the Hall with multiple Pro Bowls. Let's not kid ourselves. Okay,
let's not kid ourselves.
If that's the case, why isn't he already in the Hall?
Okay, Dance. How many of the Steelers with all of that? Hold on. No. Because what you finna do is you finna eat your words. How many of the guys who are Steelers that still haven't got their yellow jacket and they've been out way longer and done way more?
Many. I repeat myself. Many.
So again, you're talking about some guys.
I'm not going to eat my words.
You're talking about guys.
I'm not going to eat my words at all.
Yes, you are, because you're trying to make an argument as they're not good because they're not in the Hall and they hit the mark. But there's guys that haven't got theirs yet, and they've been out way longer.
Exactly.
So it comes down to the committee of when they want to pick who they want to pick. It's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with the time frame. It's got everything to do with the committee on when they want to pick somebody.
Okay.
We just watched T.O. get passed up on the first round ballot twice. So we know exactly what it is. It's the committee. Then we're not going to sit here and undermine these guys because a group of guys at a desk didn't push the button.
Correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of the jury, my brother loves and hates his New York Giants simultaneously. He is 50-50 along with Eli Manning to his New York Giants. Oh, dance.
I won't turn into anything else if you call me 3 times. I'm not Beetlejuice.
That 07 Giants was like that. Whether you want to see it or not, they were 10-6 in the NFC conference. And everybody knew at that time in the 10-6 in the NFC was you were one of those guys. You got in a wild card and you make a run on the table. Booby goes for 1,000 yards. Ahmad is not Booby.
No,
he's not.
No, he isn't.
He was a speedster. He wasn't a downhill guy like Booby.
I know.
But that line that you said that had no stars did it in fact have stars, and they shined. Multiple of those guys that you said were not stars were not only just multiple champions, they were also multiple Pro Bowl selectors. Not only were multiple Pro Bowl selectors, there was also an All-Pro amongst them.
Right.
You can't be a star on that level and make any of those selections. No bums get selected for just being a nice guy in a jersey.
Of course not.
Solid guys don't get selected to the Pro Bowl. Solid guys do not get selected to the Pro Bowl.
Solid guys do not get taken to the Pro Bowl.
Solid guys do not get selected to the Pro Bowl. You are a standout. That is an individual thing. That is not based on your team. That is an individual act. You are a standout. You, sir, as a Giants fan, need to also write them and have a hate letter stuck to that love letter simultaneously.
They've gotten plenty of my hate. Don't you worry about that. Plenty of it. The day that they decided that Dave Gettleman would become their general manager, they have gotten my hate. They have gotten my hate. So don't you worry. They've gotten my hate. They got plenty of my love. They got plenty of my money. But they've also gotten plenty of my hate too. Oh, yeah. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. The day Louis Riddick was passed over for GM and Dave Gettleman was selected, don't you worry. I left them my hate. I left them my hate. And then some. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. They walked off of Brian Flores and went to Brian Dable. Believe me, they've gotten my hate. Got it. In spades, they got it. Don't you worry. But they've gotten plenty of my love because I've been a Giant fan since '86. I was a Giant fan when Joe Morris was taking handoffs from Phil Simms. Okay? And Phil McConkey was running down the sideline. Don't you worry. I've been a fan as long as I can remember. Those teams, by the way, 86 and 90, those guys, those teams, they're stars in that line. And stars within the offense to match that defense.
They had stars on those teams.
Everywhere. That team had a star everywhere. That 86 team in particular had a star everywhere.
But you can't take away from what the guys did in those
level of their stardom is an entirely different story.
You
But were they
can't take
stars? You bet.
you can't take away from what these guys did.
Or I don't. I don't. Listen, you take it as, well, I don't give a damn about them. You're wrong. I do. I do.
No,
I
no,
cherish
no.
that.
That's not
Listen,
that's
in
not. It's nothing to do
particular,
with that. Is when you
hold on.
said there were no
Hold on.
stars.
In particular, that last Super Bowl, I cherish that one particularly. Okay?
No, I mean that's nothing to do with.
Hang on. I particularly
You're over explaining.
cherish. No,
You're over
listen,
explaining. We're talking
I'm
about you
not.
saying there were no stars. Not
I'm
that
really not.
we're not talking
There's-
about what you cherished. That's not the point. The point was you said there were no stars on that
There's
line.
a difference. Listen, there's a difference between. Okay, I get what you're saying. I really do get what you're saying. All right. There's Pro Bowlers on the team, and I get all that, and I'm not disputing that. I'm not talking about what their creds are. Okay. And you happen to be half right when it comes to Pro Bowlers, okay, and individual stars. I agree with you because I've seen some solid players who have made the Pro Bowl. Have they been starters? No. Have they been starters in the Pro Bowl? No. Were they selected? Yes, because they were on that level at least. Not better than, not dominant, okay? But Pro Bowl level players, absolutely. But we're talking about all pro players, and amongst those who have been there, Giants haven't had that player in quite some time. Last player who was anywhere close to that, okay, that played in a Giants uniform, seriously, last two, all right, both wore 90 in front of their in the front of their numbers on the back of their jerseys. Those are the last ones. But they have not had a guy who has been all world, okay, since the guy they traded away, all right, and quite frankly, from the day that they traded him, they still haven't gotten it right. Now,
What did he do after that?
Oh, not much, except get knee injury upon knee injury on knee injury, and oh, by the way, here comes another knee injury today.
So
just earlier today.
I don't understand how he's all world. I mean, if that's the case, what I'm saying is simply there were stars on that line, and not only did they win, they also have the credentials to match with their winnings. There isn't an explanation outside of they are stars because they did exactly what they're supposed to do and then some. When you say they were solid guys don't make Pro Bowls.
Okay.
Because think about this: there's a top 100 that goes down on the list.
Yes, every year.
Every year. Top 100.
Yes.
The players pick that.
Yes.
All those players are stars.
I guarantee you.
All 100
are
stars.
I guarantee you that not one of them. And how I know this to be true is because a lot of times those teams, when they were not, first of all, half of those Giants teams at that time weren't even picked to be even in the playoffs.
They ain't got to be done to do with the team.
They were not even picked to even be in the playoffs, much less the Super Bowl. The fact that they won those two Super Bowls is being hot at the right time. Okay? They were not teams that won the division outright, flat out beat everybody, okay, and won divisions. The last division winner that the Giants took to a Super Bowl was which one? Let's see if you know.
Mm-mm. They were right on par for NFC. They were actually right on par for the NFC. They did exactly what they needed to do and repeated in the same fashion. Only difference was Atlanta got their ass on there and got tore up. 24.
Which one was the last Giant team to win the division and go to the Super Bowl? That's all my question.
That would be a team with Lawrence Taylor and shit. Nobody fucking cares about that.
Okay.
No, I take that back because
Yes.
the Giants faced or they had Tiki Barber and they fucking faced the Ravens. They won the division.
And what they do in that game?
They lost the Super Bowl.
Yes.
But they won the division. Who would you rather be?
What year was that?
Would you rather be?
Was that?
That was 2001. Would you rather be a
2001.
fucking? Would you rather be a division champion and no Super Bowl, or would you rather be a Super Bowl champion and no division title?
I'd rather win a division and win a Super Bowl.
No. The question was out of the two.
I'm
because
answering
we all
the
know. Because the fact of the matter is not answering
those
the
two
question.
choices.
There's only two selections.
If it's between those two choices,
if the third selection was to have it all, of course it would be have it all. But the reality is, my Steelers, who have more Super Bowls than your team, have not won the division every year they won the Super Bowl. And I guarantee you, if you talk to them,
but they do have at least one when they've done.
They would gladly say, "I will take a Super Bowl over a division any day."
This is true. But do they have one that within that combination, winning the division and winning the Super Bowl?
No, the AFC and the NFC are two different monsters.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you, do they have the combination?
And I'm telling you no, because
winning the division and winning the Super Bowl.
The AFC will not get you into the playoffs. Do you not remember Matt Castle went 12-4 and got sent home?
Here's what I remember.
12-4 and didn't make the playoffs.
I remember a 2000 yes, that same team, that same 2001 team that you just mentioned had Kerry Collins as their quarterback. Talking about the Giants. They had Kerry Collins as their quarterback. Kerry Collins, who pretty much was nabbed off the scrap heap out of Carolina because he was not playing well there. He was barely upright there. And they let Kerry Collins take the reins, and Kerry Collins and Tiki Barber basically took the Giants to that Super Bowl because they barely had two healthy receivers all year. They had a stout offensive line that was able to hold up till they got to the Super Bowl. And I know that Ray Lewis had fun beating up that offensive line, okay, in that Super Bowl. And here's what I know. That's the last division winner you said to take them to a Super Bowl.
No, I was wrong. They were second in the division, third in the division. I was wrong. So again.
So they didn't even get that far.
So it was the 90s team.
Yes.
So they didn't win the division.
It was the 90 team, as I recall.
Yeah. But again, winning the division means absolutely nothing because the thing about it is you want to get in the playoffs. Your Giants for their last 3 Super Bowl visits, came from them being in a wild card.
In a wild card in each situation.
Why would you give a fuck about a division?
Because the thing that I know I get to control where I play. First of all,
not necessarily true.
Oh no! If you win your division, if you're the number 1 team coming into the playoffs,
out of your division,
where are you playing?
Out of your division, you're number 1 in your division.
If you're the number one in the
If
conference,
I'm number one in the
if
conference,
you're number one, hang on. Listen to the question. If you're number
I
one
heard
in
the
the
question.
conference,
If I'm number one in my division, I'm number one in my division.
and if you're number one in the conference as well, where are you starting?
Okay, see, now you switched the question because you said division.
Because you weren't letting me, because you keep cutting me off, bro.
You didn't say anything. You said division. You didn't mention the conference.
All right.
I mentioned the conference.
Allow me to ask the full question then, please. If I win top of the division and win my conference,
Why you
where
at
am I
conference?
starting?
Conference wasn't part of the discussion.
Where am I starting? This is the question I was trying to ask you. Where am I starting?
You're going to be at home if you're number one in the conference, but the point
what else
of the discussion was the division.
And what else am I going to get?
We're not going there because we're sticking to the division.
This is all same question.
No, it's not.
It is
Conference
the same
and
question.
division. Conference and division, two different things.
The reason I'm asking it this way is because I'm trying to get you to see it. Okay?
Wait.
I'm trying to get you to see it. Since you always tell me, since you're telling me I'm not making my full argument, I'm trying to give you my full argument. My full argument is this. If you want me to tell you what it is that I want, here's what I want. When I'm running my team out there, I want my team to not only win division, I want it to win the conference because I'm getting home field and I'm getting my first round bye. That's what I want. I want the ability to control how often I'm playing, how much I'm playing, when I need to play, even up to when my starters can even take a seat.
And how many of those guys actually went on to go win Super Bowls that got a first round bye and home field advantage?
Quite a number of them. Quite a number of them have done that. Quite a number of them have done that. And in fact, the last team to do that, okay? The last team to do that got picked off by a wild card team. And then the next team after that to do that was who? Kansas City.
Win to get in.
Kansas City did that, didn't
they? But that's Kansas City. But at the end of the day, we're talking about how many teams can beat Kansas City. You can't. Everybody can't beat Kansas City.
No, not very, very, very few teams can even match up with Kansas City, much less beat them.
Everybody can't beat one of Peyton Manning's Colts or Denver teams. Everybody can't beat that.
Well,
what more people? What more people?
The Denver team, but I definitely know they can't beat. They couldn't beat Indies. They couldn't beat Indy.
No. I'm talking about can beat them. So what I'm saying is, as far as home field advantage and shit like that, everybody can't do that. But what most people can do is they can play to win.
Yes, that they can do.
So
they can play to win.
Winning the division absolutely means nothing, particularly to the playoff picture.
Right.
Because if I beat your ass in the playoffs and you got the conference lead the record and your division title and we in the same division and I beat you and you have to watch me on Sunday in the Super Bowl. But hey, guess what? At the start of the season, we'll be applauding your division banner and I'll be applauding my Super Bowl ring.
Okay. I still don't mind being Kansas City.
No, don't get me wrong.
Win my division title.
What I'm saying is,
I still don't mind being Kansas City. I hear you, but I don't mind being Kansas City with my division title, with my conference title, and with my Super Bowl.
Well, at the end of the day, you gotta be a Kansas City type team. Exactly. You're not a Kansas City type team.
This is why I'm saying that. Okay. And this is why I'm saying that the Giants did not go into these things with a Kansas City type team. You're talking about them like they had a Kansas City type team.
Who is?
Exactly. No one is.
Okay.
The last team to be that.
That's why I'm saying.
Hang on.
That's why I'm saying at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, a Super Bowl outweighs a division any day.
Of course. But if you've got that kind of team, what are your chances of winning? They're much better. Aren't they?
You hope. Because Green Bay led the division and the conference several times.
True.
With Aaron Rodgers.
And with Brett Favre. Yes.
Pow.
I agree.
Pow. I agree. Executed them both. executed them both right there. And then you had old New York Giants and Eli rolling in there 10-6. Didn't give shits.
Didn't give a shit. In the cold.
And these motherfuckers sit up there with 14-2, 13-3, and at home watching Eli.
We're watching Eli.
Who would you rather be at that point?
In every one of these situations, it's a little hard to not be anybody else. But I'm happy. Wait.
Go ahead. Hold on. Look. Wait. You gotta hear this. You gotta hear this. This will be real good.
I'm listening.
Brett Favre,
yes,
has a higher winning record.
Yep.
Loss records.
Yep.
Eli. Aaron Rodgers has a higher winning record to loss record than Eli.
Yes.
But Eli got more Super Bowls than both of them combined.
I agree. But can I ask you something? Which one of them is a Hall of Famer and which one will be a Hall of Famer?
They'll all be Hall of Famers.
Keep it real. Who's a Hall of Famer and who is going to be a Hall of Famer? There's no question about it.
All three of them will be Hall of Famers.
Let me ask you a question. Who's getting there sooner, Aaron Rodgers or Eli Manning?
Aaron.
Okay. Who's getting there sooner? Brett Favre? Who's getting there sooner?
Wait. I take that back. Actually,
go ahead.
Actually, not.
Go ahead.
Because if he continues to come back and play, he won't get in. He won't get in sooner.
This is true. Because the love of money can't make him help himself any worse. But go ahead.
Well, no, not even money. It's just the time limit that they set on it for eligibility. So because he's pushing back his eligibility to enter into
a year every time he stays. I agree.
So that's the only reason why he won't be able to get in before
yes, I agree with you on that. But
if they do that.
But that's neither here nor there. If the argument over the win-loss record, right, is what keeps Eli out of it now. For now. Your argument is correct about Aaron Rodgers, about him prolonging it and probably worsening his chances. But still, he will be a Hall of Famer one way or the other, unless he absolutely comes back and he pulls a Brett Favre where he's so bad, he's just too bad. Okay, he's going to get there. But the thing is that this is what makes that argument so crappy. This is what I was trying to build up to before when you brought it up. What makes that argument crappy, all right, is the fact that you're not looking to figure out whether or not Eli Manning is still going to come back. What's done is done. He's put in his 16 years. He put in his 2 Super Bowls. It's not even a question of whether or not, do the Super Bowls even matter? Of course they do. They came in the middle of one of the greatest dynasties, if not the greatest dynasty, in NFL history. How does that keep Eli out?
The writers.
No, I didn't say who keeps him out. I'm asking you, how does that keep them out?
And I'm telling you who and how.
I know who. I know who. You know who. How does that keep him out? How is a different question. Not to who. That's it. The who is like asking the dumbass question, not saying the you.
No, it's not, because you're saying how, but the how comes down to the who. If it was just automatically automated,
right?
There's a situation where it goes into, hey, he gets in within the next 3 years,
right?
But it's not. It's up to people who still hold biases. Their biases is what gets you in. So what I'm saying to you is
that's what I wanted to hear.
It has nothing to do with anything. We know exactly at some point in time he's going to get in because, hey, he did what he did, not once, but twice. And there's a backstory that a lot of people don't know, because the first Super Bowl was the Patriots were sending over invitations to their perfect party.
Correct.
They killed that shit. The next Super Bowl, Justin Tucker and them boys were sending them Super Bowl party invites, talk about come to our shit, and guess what? They won.
They won.
So that shit, that situation right there alone.
I know because I went to it. That's why.
I'm telling you, that situation alone is a vote.
I agree.
That's a vote.
No, I agree with you because
that's some shit. That's some shit because the thing about it is,
what makes me laugh about that particular period of time, okay, and how writers cannot justify it is the fact that not only did the Giants play down their part of it until it became time to invite people to their Super Bowl party, all right, but it's not like, and again, I say it again, it's not like the Giants won multiple championships, took their team. A matter of fact, in both cases of their winning that Super Bowl, the next season they won a division in both seasons and were bounced out in the first round. Okay, in each situation. So it's not like you're talking about Eli turned it up and just stayed hot for 7, 8, 9 years and took Tom Brady completely out of the argument. But to disacknowledge his accomplishments, okay, and tell him he's not a Hall of Famer because of the fact that in the midst of a full-on dynasty, 9 Super Bowl appearances. As a matter of fact, 9 consecutive Super Bowl appearances at one point. No, not consecutive. You're right. Not consecutive. But 9 out of 11 Super Bowl appearances. Okay? 9 out of 12. Excuse me. How in the world are you trying to say that Eli Manning is not a qualified person to make the Hall of Fame? And solely making your argument based upon win-loss record.
Let's be honest, bro. Let's be completely honest.
Go for it.
We're talking about human beings that are more likely pin pushers than actually field pushers. We're talking about the very thing that has this kid over at University of Texas butthole tight every snap because football royalty is in the building.
Exactly.
Listen, how many people can you say, hey, we know Archie Manning. Yeah, he's got 2 boys. Both his boys got 2 Super Bowls.
Super Bowls.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Their nephew's going where? What? There's another one? Fuck Eli. What do you mean how? What do you mean how? That's how. You keep building football royalty?
Yes.
Fuck Eli. That's how.
Eli. Yeah.
I don't want to see you in there. Because you're talking about a great percentage of going down to Canton, Ohio and seeing Manning.
Manning. 4 of them, and possibly 5. Phew. Yeah.
Do we really think about it? These are the same people that have literally kept LeBron James from getting 2 MVPs. We knew
3, actually. 3, actually.
We knew he was head and shoulders above the rest of the field. And you say, you know what? You just can't do it because you know what? It's not right because the truth of the matter is for an 8-year period,
yes,
nobody else deserved an MVP vote.
Not one.
So when it comes down to it, it's the same thing with Eli.
Yes, I agree.
Your daddy and your brother's already in.
Yeah. We can't let you in. It's too much. It's too damn much.
Why would we want to do this?
Yes.
Because if we put you in, that's a legacy.
Right.
Think about this. Shannon Sharp is in there.
Yes.
You telling me Sherman Sharp, even though he didn't play as lengthy at the time, you telling me Sherman Sharp don't deserve to be in there?
Oh, he deserves to be in there.
Bo Jackson?
His duration is not even in question. Not even a question. Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson. I know the arguments for and against, and I don't have a problem with putting him in. I don't have a problem with not putting him in.
I have a problem with not putting him. Reason being because nobody will ever say in 7 games while playing 2 professional sports, I came over here, put up my 1,000 yards, and left.
Yes, that's why I said it's hard to say. It's hard to say no to Bo Jackson. It's hard to say yes to Bo Jackson. I get it. I can't argue with you. I can't argue with you on that.
It ain't hard for me. His ass would have been in there as soon as I found out he couldn't get back in the league no more.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. There's a part of me. I mean, because to me, these guys are the same jokers who keep screaming at the following 3 names. Okay, they keep screaming at Barry Bonds. They keep screaming at Alex McGillney. If you don't know who Alex McGillney is, look up Buffalo Sabres, Toronto Maple Leafs hockey player. Okay,
yeah.
Believe you me, these are the same jokers who keep making these fake as hell arguments that have no justification for what is right.
Don't forget Pete Rose.
And then, yes. Okay, I can't argue with that. I can't argue with Pete Rose. I can't argue with Pete Rose.
That's exactly how and why Eli will continue to have his issues because of that shit.
Yeah, I agree.
You have more people that hate Eli than love him. He wasn't as cool as Peyton.
Yeah,
but he had heart.
But he had heart. And God, that guy had game.
He had heart, and he could play.
That's what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off with people. And I'm sorry to say, and this is kind of where I kind of fell back on your argument which is the reason why I was a little bit. I didn't want to say it in this way, okay? Because I don't disagree with you when it comes to that offensive line for both teams. But Eli played better than those lines, okay? In a lot of cases. As a matter of fact, that line was put together not to be a Super Bowl winning team, but a playoff winning team, okay? And he surpassed it because there was times when you were expected that Eli Manning should just go down in a heap. And he just said, oh, hell no. Many times. I'm not just talking about David Tyree. I mean, there are many times when you saw Eli Manning should have been flat on his back, okay, with a broken something. And believe you me, he made up for a lot. I just
told you, the boy came from football royalty.
I agree. Which is the reason why I said, in my opinion, the argument that, he's not a Hall of Famer, shut the fuck up. You're talking shit now. Come on.
It's got nothing to do. We know why he's not a Hall of Famer. It's nothing to do with you personally.
I agree with you, but to say he didn't earn it, come on now.
So you look at Archie. Archie was scrappy and crafty. Archie would get that ball upfield and he would move his legs upfield.
Sure would.
Eli had a little bit of Archie in him. He had a little bit of Peyton.
A lot of Archie. A lot of Archie.
Peyton would move the ball upfield, but he was slick with it. Hey guys, I'm gonna hand this ball off over here, and he'll do a handoff, and meanwhile he walking 10 yards.
10 yards.
He walking up the field 10 yards the opposite way. They were like, wait a minute, that motherfucker ain't got the ball. Who got the ball? Then Peyton goes, oh shit, it's me.
Let me tell you, Peyton, in my opinion, was an NFL Hall of Famer when he was in college. I mean that. When he was in Tennessee, he was already a Hall of Famer. I watched Peyton destroy, absolutely slice and dice teams, okay, that he would play, particularly conference play. When he was in college, he was a beast. And he was smoother. He was smoother than peanut butter. It was scary to watch him.
I will argue Terrence Little over Peyton at Tennessee.
I hear your argument, But there's times when you watch Peyton where you just like, he gonna get hit, he gonna get hit, going to get hit. Oh shit, touchdown!
Don't get me
Like,
wrong.
what?
No, I'm not saying he wasn't bad.
No,
He
he's
wasn't that bad at
badass.
all.
He's a complete badass.
But
Complete badass.
if you go and compare Terrence Little, who didn't,
Terrence Little was very short-sighted.
This is NFL. This is personal. For y'all not getting Terrence Little up, fuck y'all. Y'all pissed me off. Y'all like Terrence. How y'all not let Terrence Little get in the league? Like, be for real. We know what that was about.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The money you seeing today, you could have been seen with Michael Bishop, Terrence Little. What's my man that went and played basketball for your Knicks?
Charlie Ward.
Charlie Ward. You could have seen me. You could have seen these dollars eons ago. Easily.
With room to spare. Oh yeah. It was complete murder what these people were doing. So, it really was.
I'm just not underestimating Peyton. Not underestimating Eli or Mansion or Archie. Excuse me.
Or Archie.
There was definitely moments where it was certain players who were they will accept the fact that they didn't get in now and say, hey, but the truth of the matter is I'll be gladly to speak on their behalf and tell you exactly why they didn't get in.
Okay. I can agree with that. Yes, I can.
They had too much tint to their skin.
Yes,
right?
Way too much.
They passed the 5% mark.
Way too much. Way too much.
Don't get it twisted and say they couldn't ball.
Oh no! Oh, I would never.
Because let's be truly honest about some stuff. The way colleges would approach Eddie George, being 6'4", 240, run like a spook deer, and you want him to be a DB. Who the hell else was going to be the running back?
No, you don't ever move. Eddie George was.
You don't never. Like you got. Listen, I gotta give. I know Jeff Fisher screwed up a lot of things. Listen, but when it comes to Steve McNair, he did right by that man.
Oh, totally.
So therefore, I'm 50-50 with old Fisher because he had my boy Vince Young. But Vince still got more wins than losses.
True.
We're not having that discussion.
No, so, that discussion is dead.
We're not having that discussion.
That discussion is dead.
But when it comes to certain players, because Charles Woodson could have easily been an NFL quarterback.
True. That's true.
Hines Ward
should have been.
I would say legit number 2.
Should have been.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Reason why I'm gonna say that is because the way he would crack back on people. I would not have been able to witness that if you had him at quarterback. So I'm thankful that they found a place for him to be a receiver, and every now and then let him throw one. Let him show that one. Hey, listen, I love that.
Yeah,
right. So. But he could have been, you know what I mean?
Yes,
it's a lot of guys that should have been in their rightful position, and they were not in those positions.
Yeah.
So, and the thing about it was, because we know best. No. We know what it was. No. We know what it really was.
No.
It was that great old R word that wasn't do with nothing but riches. We know what it was.
Damn right.
He was a racist radical.
Entirely.
So
entirely.
Had you done right, your team could have been better off with somebody that had the quick twitch fibers and everything else, and you've been clicking on all cylinders.
Pretty much.
because it's been a lot of listen.
Too many. It's just too many.
At what point in time was Matt Shaw better than Colin Kaepernick?
Never.
But
Never.
if you let media and so-called, these football fans,
oh yes,
we already know what the narrative was.
Oh, of course, written in stone, written in damn stone.
We already know. I
mean, and it was said loud and clear by one Rush Limbaugh. So it's not like we have to figure it out.
Right.
We don't need to spend time working on it.
Right.
That one is as clear as day. They didn't miss me with that.
No,
they didn't miss neither of us with that.
So we knew exactly what that was about. Like I say, it was a bunch of guys. I'll even go this far. Even with JJ Watt. When they said JJ Watt was in the discussion with LT, Lawrence Taylor, and all those guys, and I was like, how? Show me where Lawrence Taylor was 6-10 or 2-14
ever.
Show me what Ray Lewis. Show me what Ray Lewis was 6-10 and 2-14.
Only once in LT's career, and that was his rookie year, were they ever one game under 500. Only one.
And how many? Don't LT got 2 of them things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't LT the leader of that team?
Yes, he was. Oh, by a long shot. He and Carl Banks pretty much wrote the book.
Wasn't LT the most feared man on the field?
The
people didn't want to throw on his side. Didn't want to run on his side.
No, didn't try.
JJ knocked down a few balls.
Some didn't try. Some didn't even try.
But you can run the ball. You can run the ball right at him.
But he was still catching his. Anytime you tried to play yourself and tried to go away from him, he still found a way. He was impossible.
With it all. Club Shay Shay about to start in a minute. Here's my situation with it all. You bypassed so many others. JJ Watt wasn't better than Javon Curse.
Not even in the same vicinity. No.
But you put him in the likes of the all-time greats who are champions.
Yeah.
See, one thing about them was they weren't just the guy on their team. They were the guy in the league.
Right. That's correct. That's like saying you can even put JJ Watt in the conversation with Reggie White. Not even close.
On that note,
even close. Good night.
On that note,
yes,
listen.
Good night. Thanks for playing.
The pastor?
No. No. Bruce Smith? Absolutely not. Come on.
And they went to 4 of them.
Okay. And not till he got to Washington did he get his finally. So
this is the craziest thing. Here's the crazy thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
My man has 4 AFC championships. But this is the thing that fans need to understand. That's not the thing lightly. That means you conquered the quest to get to the Super Bowl.
You understand?
Which means you were the best team in your conference.
Right. That's right.
Which also means there was only 2 best teams to be represented in football.
That's right. That's correct.
One comes from one conference, one comes from the other conference.
That's correct.
That man did it 4 times on one team.
And it wasn't until he left them and went to Washington and finally got his ring.
And So my man's got 5 conference championships.
So he has 5 conference championships and a ring. But you saying JJ Watt's on that level? No. Michael Strahan, okay, on 2 bad knees was a better player than JJ Watt. Okay?
And he came from a HBCU.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Go for
He
it.
didn't come from this era of HBCU.
No.
He came from the era of HBCU.
2 eras back.
Where they was going to class.
To class. Correct.
They wasn't in the weight room. They
No.
wasn't in the field room. They wasn't in the lunch room.
No.
He had to go to class.
That's right. Because there was nobody's scholarships. You wasn't coming there to come get your year scholarship and then you gone. No. No 3 years and done. No 2 years and done. No.
He didn't go to University of Texas. He didn't go to Rice. He didn't go to U of H.
Nope.
He was right there at Texas Southern University.
Texas Southern. Yep.
With no major mainstream social media.
That's as raw bone a football player as I ever saw.
I
watched that man play.
To go from an HBCU in Houston, that they really wasn't all that
wasn't
great
all at all.
To go to New York,
right, and win not 1 but 2, and was a perennial Pro Bowler. With the record at the time for most sacks.
Season sack leader. Yeah.
This I know. This is why I know that much of that is much ado about.
Right.
Okay? Much ado about.
But we're not going to have the discussion. We're not going to have a discussion about Michael Vick.
No.
Being pulled in the middle of a game. It only needed 1 play to break a 50-year-old record.
Leave that alone. Leave it alone.
The officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first and world championship titles in a record 8 different weight division, guarantees his place in the Hall of Fame. He's recognized and known the world over as the people's champion.
My name is D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. Taking out your suckers head. Yeah, and you don't stop.
I'm invincible, but I still fight doubt. And the only person that's gonna stop me is me. But once I overcame that fight, can't nothing stop me. I can't die. I'm immortal.
Rejected, neglected, I feel disrespected. They told me go left, I didn't learn the right lessons. Been hard on my grizzle, my hustle got deadly. Y'all rap about shit I done murdered already. Ain't changing my image, focused on my vision. Hard-headed, don't listen, fake love, I ain't with it. This path I'm committed, slip up but ain't tripping. My mind always spinning, ain't talking about vision. Just run me, my digits go broke, I ain't limping. It ain't come to me, so I had to go get it. I came from a city with niggas, it's vicious. The love be fictitious, see hate from a distance. It made me a fighter, got pushed to my limits. I took a few L's and then got so discouraged. With God as my witness, from whence I was forged. No golden gate bridge, but I came back a warrior. I came back immortal, invincible even. My faith is much higher than what you believe in. They wanted me gone on my soul, I ain't leaving. Spoke life into every verse you receiving. My music lives on when my bones turn to dust. There's power in words, so bitch you should hush. My mind overflowing in lyrical floods. Fuck building an art, you gon' need you a sub.